Hey yo, hey yo, I called you. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, baby girl. Pick up the phone. Oh, baby girl, you are my world. Oh, baby girl, you are my world. Baby girl, you are my world. Hello. Why what? Because the other algorithm wasn't working. I could tell right away if it's working. Call in like and if I have less than like a certain number of who is trolling about what? Hangs up after getting called. No one answered the phone yet. You dumb? You dumb? Are you dumb? I'm waiting for someone to answer the phone. Who is this guy doing it? Don't. Huh? Well, listen to this one.
Hi, please don't be mad.
Never mind. Hello.
Hello?
Howdy. What's up?
Nothing. So, what's the topic for tonight?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. It's a whole mountain of new things every day.
Ain't that, don't you usually pick a topic?
I mean, it's about America and mostly why this administration is such a bad administration and bad president and all that stuff and bad policies. So whatever people want to talk about, we talk about.
Okay, like, wh- let me, can you solid up your position, like, put some meat on the bones of it and all that good jazz?
So one big thing right now, Donald Trump is having a crypto coin, which means he gets paid directly by people. He is offering private, exclusive tours and dinners to the White House if you're a top purchaser of his coin, which he profits from directly. If you're top 200, you get a private dinner. If you're top 25, you get a private tour of the White House, which is a building our tax dollars maintain. He's getting paid billions of dollars from this, which is probably, it definitely is the biggest big money corruption scandal in presidential history of any president ever, and people don't seem to care.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard of that yet, so I'm just, going by what you just said. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like,
It's probably worse
100%, I
than what
don't
I
think
just
that's
said.
okay.
But the thing is, that's not just that I don't agree with it. That's like worse than like that's like the worst thing I've ever seen an American president do in the last 100 years, corruption wise. I don't even know I don't even know who to bring up that's worse than that.
I mean, I don't think it's I think corruption's a hard word. I mean, because it's like it is, it's in the same ballpark. You know what I mean?
Same
But
ballpark
it's not like
as what?
it's not like he's like physically robbing people's money and shit.
You know
Like
what corruption
from
means?
that, like yes,
So like these are untraceable or not untraceable with a leaderboard, but so if you're from Saudi Arabia, he takes a lot of money from Saudi Arabian princes and Saudi Arabian billionaires. He has private golf tournaments on his resorts with them. He helps Saudi Arabia with the petro market. And then he has Chinese billionaires investing in, or not even investing, just buying this crypto coin. So he has foreign nationals, foreign leaders, foreign billionaires, and billionaires in America buying that coin, and he gets profit from it directly. And the crypto makes it a legal loophole where he can be paid off at the highest level, and it still will be like it'll still be considered legal. So when it comes to corruption, like the fact like this is 50 times worse than a member of Congress using stock tips, for example. Like I just don't think people have the knowledge, or not even knowledge, just like there's a channel. I recommend a channel called Coffeezilla.
hmm
It's not a political channel, but he focuses on crypto scams. I think I would recommend looking up that channel. I think it's good because it's not really a political look. It just tells you about how the crypto coin works and everything.
yeah. But see, like this is where under me knowing more about the story, because you know, private tours of the White House have been given out for years via charities. You know what I mean? So is this like a charity thing, or
No,
is this
it's
like
going to Donald Trump's
is he
pockets.
putting
He's
this
made
coin
a
through his uh campaign?
no.
There needs
So
to and this is me not knowing the story.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what
So
I mean?
Trump has personally profited. He's used the presidency to personally profit over probably a couple $billion since he took office. Yeah, it's a lot. Like they say, Nancy Pelosi insider traded. I mean, her husband's really rich. She was a real estate investor as well. Did she use any stock tips? I'm sure they all know people, but like she made her entire career, I think, probably $50 million off of like explicitly just trading stocks. And they complain about her, but Trump made billions of dollars within a month or two, and it's like no one seems to care. I just think politics is too much of a team sport because I don't like either of them. So.
Oh, I agree that politics is becoming a team sport, especially because, like, let's be honest, Donald Trump had his, like, State of the Union, not State of the Union address, right? And the Democrats refused to stand up for a kid with fucking cancer.
Donald Trump deported multiple American citizen children that have cancer and prevented them from getting cancer treatment. And he deported
American? No.
Yes,
no.
yes, he has. Yes, he has.
We're talking about during the State of the Union.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
kid.
He deported from our country American citizen children who have cancer, who are getting cancer treatments, and he cut cancer research by 50% in America. That's why they didn't clap, because he's using that kid for propaganda, and people like you buy into it. That's the issue.
I'm not buying into it.
Yeah, you are.
Like the Democrats. No, the Democrats.
Yeah,
didn't
because
stand
Donald
up and
Trump
applaud
is
this
cutting
kid.
cancer research by 50%, but you're concerned about the circus that he showed you.
I have not.
Do you realize you're still more mad about them clapping than you are about Trump deporting American citizen children that have cancer and cutting cancer research by 50%?
Okay, but like, where are you getting your information that these kids were American citizens
Google,
and or had cancer that he deported
literally
them?
Google. You
Because,
can Google right now.
let's be honest,
Okay, I
for
hate
the
how
last 2
lazy
weeks
Americans
we've
are.
had
I hate how lazy people like you are that you can't do a damn Google search to verify anything. Google NIH cancer research cuts and Google American children deported with cancer. Just do that simple Google search and stop complaining about it. Unless if you do a very don't have an opinion if you're not gonna put even a percent of work into it.
You're bringing up a different point than my point was. I was agreeing with you that, one, we are becoming more of a team sport because we can't even applaud a fucking kid with cancer.
Because
the guy who brought him up on
it's
stage
a team sport. Because do you understand my point? Do you understand my point?
Yes, I understand your point.
That Trump is harming kids.
I feel
and he used
like
that one kid as a
I feel
puppet.
like you're kind of just doing a race to the bottom, but I understand your point.
No, because Donald Trump used that kid as a puppet and then cut cancer research in America to give billionaires tax cuts.
Every fucking president during a
No,
State of
they
the
don't.
Union
Joe Biden increased cancer funding more than any president.
puppet.
Joe Biden increased cancer funding more than any president, I'm pretty sure, in American history.
Yeah, because that was one of his things. He said, "I'm gonna."
Yeah, you're right. It is a Democrat thing to raise funding for child cancer research. It is a Democrat thing to do that. Republicans hate doing that shit.
Okay, but dude, you can't sit there and say you hate both parties equally and then be like, "Oh yeah, but the Republicans are the bad guys."
It's not about hate. It's about knowing facts about the situation. I know facts that Republicans are hurting kids right now to give billionaires tax cuts, and Democrats were giving more funding to kids with cancer. But you are hung up on the puppet that they used. They used the kid as a puppet.
No, I'm saying I use that as an example to say that people aren't agreeing.
It's
with
okay
each
to
other
not like
because of
things
that.
politicians do. I judge their policies.
Can we both agree that, like, kids having cancer is a bad thing, right?
Yep.
And if a kid is surviving and thriving, you would applaud that because it's like, fuck yeah, kid, keep going, right?
I agree Democrats should have clapped because it was political malpractice,
Yes.
not because it mattered, but because, I mean, people are going to get mad about it, and people get offended, and they're emotional like you are, and you're emotional.
Just the symbolic nature of.
Yeah, you care more about symbolism than you do actual kids. You care more about symbolism and your emotions than you do about actual kids. You care more about your emotions and symbolism. That's the issue.
No, I care. I'm just saying. Dude, I was agreeing with you.
Because you knew about the kid getting them not all clapping for the kid that Donald Trump trotted out as a puppet, but you did not know about the cancer cuts. So maybe you should switch your media environment so you learn about the real shit happening in the real world. You should feel pathetic that you know about the dumb shit and you don't know about the real shit. Why do you know all this dumb shit but no real shit?
Dude, but the media for the last 2 weeks has been talking about a Maryland man who may or may not have been part of MS-13, but definitely was an illegal immigrant, and he got deported.
The reason they talk about it is because Donald Trump is defying a 9-0 Supreme Court ruling. Donald Trump defied a 9-0 Supreme Court ruling.
Beat on his wife.
Donald Trump defied a 9. Okay, you're being emotional again. You realize how you're being an emotional dipshit right now. Do you care about facts or do you care about just bitching? Is that all you do?
That is a fact.
No, it's not a fact. All the shit you're saying right now is hearsay. Everything you're saying is hearsay.
No, it's not.
The fact is, Donald Trump defied a 9-0 Supreme Court order.
Yeah?
Yeah, he defied a 9-0 Supreme Court order.
Well, dude, the guy was already there.
It doesn't matter. If the U.S. government is going to take a human body with zero due process and no proof of anything, they can't just do that with the Constitution. And they shouldn't be able to do that.
Well,
Authoritarian countries do that, like China.
Here's the thing. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you don't have constitutional rights.
Yeah, you do. You have the Fifth Amendment applies to every person on American soil. The Founding Fathers wrote it with the word persons in it instead of citizens. Go read it sometime. It covers everyone on American soil.
Yeah, but that was like before we were an actual country, dude. Like that was part
Okay,
of the wording.
if you don't like the Constitution out of your
the Bill of Rights is the first 5 amendments to the Constitution, right?
Okay, so you don't care about the Bill of Rights or the Constitution. Great. Then you're not an American.
I think it makes sense, but like you don't get to sit and claim like the rights and all that get bestowed upon U.S. citizens if you're not a U.S. citizen. You came here illegally.
Okay, listen to me carefully. The Constitution says any
listen.
person in America. You have to stop being emotional for a second. I want you to know facts as well. Any person in America, persons in America,
You're being emotional.
you have a due process right.
Dude, you're being emotional.
Persons in America. I want you to talk about facts, not just whatever you heard your podcaster say.
The fact is that he was an illegal immigrant, so yeah, I don't think he should have the rights as a U.S. citizen.
Okay, so
Simple.
there's two different kinds of courts. I'll educate you for a second. So the immigration courts are much lower standard. So immigration courts, you could send someone in there. Is he deportable? Yes. Okay. Is he able to be sent to El Salvador? No. So you cannot send him there because it was illegal. Because the judge ruled he's protected from being sent back there. You find a third country that'll accept him. Okay, that's how you do a deportation. But if you're gonna say you're gonna do the Alien Enemies Act, for example, to send someone to a torture camp in El Salvador that they're gonna die in and get beaten in and do forced labor the rest of their life as a slave, there's a higher standard for due process there. And the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 against Trump because Trump did not follow any of those laws, and he used a faulty law to begin with to abduct these people to send them to El Salvador.
But he's using the Alien Agents Act to deport these people.
He violated multiple court orders. It was illegal. The stuff he did with that act is illegal. It's all illegal.
Yeah, but some of those court orders came from judges in fucking states.
It doesn't matter.
Like
and Joe Biden's student debt. Joe Biden's student debt cancellation got blocked too. Joe Biden's student debt cancellation got blocked for the same reason, by federal courts.
Joe Biden's student debt cancellation got blocked by the Supreme Court.
No, it got okay.
And
So before it got blocked by district judges. It got blocked by judges in Texas. They did nationwide injunctions. Okay, they blocked it through these courts, the same courts that were blocking Trump that he violated. Joe Biden listened to. They have done this for a while, and the Supreme Court reinforced the lower court's decision multiple times by a wide margin, 9-0 and 7-2.
See, here's the thing: like the president can ignore a state court, but you have the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court didn't rule on the the illegal immigrant, the Maryland father or whatever, until the guy was already in El Salvador. Like you can't throw a fucking flag 2 days after the game.
Yeah, you can. That's the point of, so like, for example, that's why you'd be against executing someone with no trial or sending them to a torture camp that you cannot retrieve without due trial, because the government messes up. Due process exists because the government messes up. There should never be a situation where the government can snatch you up, take no ID, go to no court, and be able to ship you off to a torture camp or put you to death. The government makes mistakes. That's why we don't like doing that. And if you want to do death penalty, it takes like a 10-year trial for a reason.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't take a 10-year trial. Most death penalties are, or most death penalty trials or whatever you want to go with are usually settled within 5 years. So,
you still have a very high standard.
Average.
So like this situation. Okay, so this is the big point. Okay, I'll calm down for a second. So, in 2019, okay, just going through facts. Okay, so are you aware that Gilmore Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man, as the right wing keeps on repeating now, do you
Maryland
agree
father.
Do you okay? Whichever one. Do you agree he had zero criminal record? He had no criminal record on his sheet.
No.
Okay, so objectively, he had no criminal record when they picked him up.
But he did come here. Okay, so he had no criminal record, but he came here illegally.
Okay, so the story goes, so he came to America as a 16-year-old escaping gang violence in El Salvador. Okay, he was just working for a while He missed his 1 year window to claim asylum. But we have laws, so if you flee a violent dictatorship or a gang torn country and you're just working in America, you have no evidence of being like violent, for example. And if they find out you're here, then you could go to court. And when he went to court, he got withholding status. So he talked about his experience in El Salvador, and the court said in 2019, okay, well, you're protected from being, you are deportable. Okay, they said he's deportable, but he's protected from being deported to El Salvador because he said about the gang violence he experienced there with his family. Now, after that, zero criminal record because that would be a civil infraction, if anything. Because the right wing says every single immigrant that's in America, if you're not a citizen, is illegal. They use the word illegal for everything because they want to make it all hyperbolic, and they want to demonize people. But still, that would not go on your criminal like record. Okay, so after he was deemed deportable, which is what they MAGA keeps on citing. Okay, he was protected from being deported to El Salvador. At that point, he applied for a work permit. So when they picked him up, he was legally here under a work permit and also a member of the local sheet metal union. Okay, so he was here illegally when they picked him up. So when it comes to, it was illegal to send him to El Salvador under any circumstance, let alone to a super prison in El Salvador, like a torture camp. That is all the facts that they knew at the time of abducting him. Now, all the stuff they said in the past like 4 weeks, trying to build up a case for why they should demonize him, does not matter. Like, there is no proof of him doing a crime. There's no proof of anything. There's no proof of tattoos that mean MS-13. Like, there's no the standard of evidence they're expecting you to use for the government, the big government, to send federal agents to send someone to a torture camp is a very low standard. That's the big concern here. Is they could just call someone, they could demonize someone and do character assassination while avoiding court orders and the Constitution.
I don't wasn't there a police report about him, like his wife, like said that he beat her or hit her
so
with
the wife said she was
boot?
in the wife said she was in an abusive relationship, which made her very scared of domestic violence, and they got into a few fights, which is like, okay, that's not good. Obviously, it's not good to get into fights. She drew back she never filed charges. Okay, so there are reports of something like that happening. But there was never anything done in court. There was no evidence of anything, and they withdrew it. They sought counseling or something or whatever they did, and they were. She said they were living happily for 4 years after that report was filed. And regardless, even if that were true, for example, let's say he did do that, he still had no criminal record. There were no charges filed. There was nothing proven. So, I mean, even if there were, by the way, even if it was proven that he did that.
But by definition, he's a criminal. He's a criminal. He entered the country illegally.
No, but okay, so we have laws, and this is a big issue.
No. He entered the country. Listen, if I went into Mexico illegally, I am an illegal immigrant.
Well,
if I went to Canada,
okay, so I'm talking about
illegally.
America and American laws. So we have laws if someone's leaving or escaping a violent country, okay, so you can cross the border illegally and seek asylum, or you can have a just reason for why you're in America. Maybe you didn't know the asylum process, or you just escaped to America and you're just working and you have no evidence of being a criminal or anything, and you could get withholding status or apply for a working permit. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, but it's a civil infraction. He did not cross illegally because in court they deemed he did not cross illegally because of the circumstances as to which led him to be in the U.S. So on his record, even when the White House posted it a couple weeks ago, under criminal record, it says no criminal record. He has no criminal record at the time of this. And even if he did, there is no reason we are using El Salvador torture camps for any prisoner sent from America. There is zero reason for that at all. And even if he beat his wife on camera, I would not say he deserves to be in a slave camp the rest of his life. Like, regardless, like.
I don't know I don't know about this camp. All I know is that, like, the whole situation.
Well, yeah, I don't mean to be rude, but you don't know about you don't know about a lot of things, buddy. You don't know about a lot of things. You should probably just do some research.
I'm not gonna attribute malice where fucking incompetence will do, because it sounds like, oh, he's illegal, so they kicked him out. I think if you want to make a better argument for, like, Trump's being an idiot and deporting people, or, like, not holding to people's constitutional rights, a couple weeks before the whole Maryland father fucking situation. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like, he led the New York or Princeton protests,
Columbia?
And he married, I can't remember.
Okay.
Sure, but it's like, like he was married, he had a green card, he basically
Yeah,
married,
that's
so he's basically
Mahmoud
a US
Khalil.
citizen at that point, and then he was saying stupid shit, and he deported him. I think that, like, if you could listen, do I think it's a great idea for people to sit there and be like, hey, I think Hamas has some good ideas. You know what I mean? I'd be like, that guy's an idiot. But here's the fucking problem of the United States. You have the right to say those things. You have the right to have those opinions. Just like there's people like.
But why?
There's
Why
people
would
who
he have the
believe
right
in
to say that though?
Scientology.
I
What?
just don't get. But like, I don't know how you can say
I
like.
think that's a better example of Trump stomping on people's amendment, constitutional rights, and all that than a Maryland man who came here illegally.
Well, no,
That
but
guy,
okay, but that's another. He did not. Okay, so it's a complicated process, but still, like, both of them are him abusing power, Trump abusing power, using like wartime actions to, because they deemed Mahmoud Khalil a national security threat based on his speech, and they just used the wartime act to rip a bunch. By the way, the people sent to the El Salvador camp, so it's a camp where there's no windows, there's no beds. They're in there working hard labor till they die. They're tortured, they're executed. So it's a slave camp. It's a modern day gulag, concentration camp, whatever word you want to use. So I'd rather put someone to death than do that. I want to do neither, but I'd rather I would not wish that hell upon like many bad people. It's a terrible thing. And only 25% of the people sent there had a criminal record. We know for a fact 50 plus people sent there. We know for a fact now were following the legal processes seeking asylum in America. I mean, you could call in a different time. And also, do you have a Discord?
Yes.
If you want to chat about this, one of my mods in my Discord put a message in the chat and asked if you'd be down to talk with him a little bit because he wants to. He likes talking to people if you're down.
Probably later.
Okay, I'll send you a text with the link. I'll let you get the final.
You know, because I feel like I'm more central right-leaning conservative. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're probably what, central left?
I'm everything. I lie, and I tell the truth.
Okay.
You have to
okay,
find
so
out
if
when.
you're everything, then you're nothing.
Yes. Very philosophical.
So is your whole show about not really a debate, but just trying to demean the other side?
No, so I care about I'm anti-corruption. I'm pro law. I'm anti government being brutal to people and violating rights. I'm definitely on the left. I just think the right wing is based on a mountain of just things that are not true. I know for a fact that it's based on things that are not true. So that's why I do my channel, because I want people to believe real things.
Okay, but you started off this conversation with there's a race to you attacking me, calling me stupid and all that.
Yeah, I mean it's a YouTube channel, man, and you were being stupid.
Okay, but then that's not a debate. That's just you being an ass.
Okay, let me explain why. Okay, so my mentality is, so if the federal government is going to use big government power to rip someone from their home essentially and ship them off to a torture dungeon and violate the Constitution, and their response to that is not to say, oh crap, we messed up. Their response is to call him an illegal MS-13, illegal alien, terrorist, sex trafficker, child abuser. And they refuse to resolve the legal issues. They will use big government to do something illegal, send someone to a concentration, gulag, torture camp, whatever you want to call it. And their only response is to demonize and character assassinate this person to make sure that the American people do not care they violated the law, just so they say, oh, this person's bad, he's not worthy of protection from the law. And my big concern is, and I do apologize for being aggressive. I do apologize. It's just hard to not, and I do understand that I do this stuff all the time, so I understand more about it, and it's not anyone's fault. Because I'm sure you're a busy guy. You got shit to do. You know, you don't have time to read everything about politics. I'm sure you just saw a couple posts about this. You probably saw a couple podcasts maybe. So I do apologize for being aggressive. But the big thing is, I just want to make sure the federal government cannot take away our rights as well. Number one, I think it's a bad thing to do to any human being. But whenever a government uses national emergency powers, or they say we can violate due process or violate the Constitution based on if this person is good or bad or if they deserve rights, then they are going to take away our rights as well. They're just using that to extort the law and bend the law. And as they keep on bending the law for groups we don't really like, then eventually our right to due process and those things will be lower. And that's why I think I am happy you brought up the situation with Colombia and you see that as an abuse of power, because that's based on the person's speech. So I do appreciate you bringing that point up. But that also seems like a situation you understand.
That's my point. I think he's a better example. of abuse of power than an illegal immigrant. Now,
Well, okay,
listen,
I'll
do
bring
I
up another
think
story for you then.
no, at a baseline, everybody's a person. And I think everybody deserves a baseline of respect, right? But this guy came here illegally, so he got deported. I hope it's not a fucking slave death camp, all that good jazz. I really hope not. At the same point in time, it's like shit, man. Like what do you do? Because it's like for over 15 years now, since I was like in fucking middle school, we've had this issue of illegal immigration. Bush started it, bringing it more to the public consciousness. Obama, ironically, was actually pretty good on deportation. They called him deporter in chief, And then it wasn't until like post-Trump with the Biden presidency where we basically had the whole open borders fiasco.
But the issue is, what you said about him coming illegally and being here illegally and being deported, none of that's like a true thing. So like once the courts talked to him and realized he escaped from somewhere and granted him withholding status and gave him a work permit, at that point he's not here illegally. So like it's complicated for sure. But there's a lot of reasons we have laws where you can come escape to a country and not be persecuted or sent to a labor camp. And he was not deported. He was abducted and sent to a torture camp. Because deportation...
New donation from Wilker.
Deportation
$20
is going
with
to
the
like
Wilker baby.
a country to be free, right? You could be free in a third country or back to your country of origin. But because he could not be sent back to El Salvador, you would find a third country. So like when you said that, it's just not a true thing. You know what I mean?
Well, but see, like that's again, we're getting back to the guy from Colombia is a better example because, like,
no, but okay,
like,
but here's the big thing too.
Said,
I could bring up other examples as well, but the big thing about principle and about free speech, you need free speech even for people you don't like. The same thing applies here. But if you're saying for political reasons, like for example, there's a professional soccer player who was tortured by electric shock in Venezuela. He escaped to America through a legal port of entry, was following the legal asylum laws. The ICE agents, these disgusting, demented assholes, saw a Real Madrid soccer tattoo on his arm and said that was a gang tattoo and sent him to El Salvador to the torture camp in El Salvador. So like that example's better. There's a guy with autism awareness tattoo as well. There's a gay barber. Like there's a bunch of examples to bring up. The Abrego Garcia one, I'll tell you why that's the one people focus on. It's because that's the first case the Supreme Court ruled on 9-0. The Supreme Court ruled on it 9-0. I agree with you for political reasons. It's not the best one to focus on because they've been able to dement it. But I mean, to be honest, public opinion is on the Democrat side, even with Abrego Garcia. So if they talk about the other cases, it'll really be in their favor. But also by principle and for American rights, it should not matter. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it wasn't a recent poll release where it's like more people, like the vast majority of Americans are for mass deportations.
Yeah, but like they are for deporting violent criminals. So when they see Trump going after innocent people on college campuses or just people like working at restaurants and stuff or people with protective status, there's a reason they don't find shootouts in America. There's a reason there's 30 ICE agents going after one doctorate girl who's going for her doctorate on a Tufts University campus for writing an op-ed about Israel or about Palestine or about whoever. Because they cannot find these terrorist cells, these gang cells, these huge organized crime networks in America. They can't find them because they hyperbolized and made it very sensationalized with how much crime is actually in America. That's the big issue here. Americans are for deporting violent criminals, but like I guarantee you, and I've seen these numbers before. I don't have the exact numbers, but between 30% or 40% actually have criminal records. 60% of the people deported have no record at all. They were here on visas and overstayed it or whatever else. And Americans are actually for giving a path to citizenship for peaceful individuals who work hard in America and have families here. So like the little girl that has cancer, for example. Most Americans would have let the little girl with cancer stay in America with her mother. But that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. So I don't disagree with you, but Trump also lies to people, so that changes public opinion. I have to move on to another caller. I'll give you the final thing. I have to talk to someone, debate other people, but I appreciate you calling, and I'll give you final word.
Hey, as long as we can have a discussion, I think that's the only way that we can move forward,
Yeah, like I said, they're big topics. I mean, once it gets to the point of people's lives being, torn apart.
It comes down to there's not a lot of black and white in any issue. It's more gray.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
Alrighty, well, have a good
immigration
one,
law sucks. Immigration law is so complicated. What the difference between an illegal immigrant, undocumented, asylum seeker, someone here on a permit, a student visa, green card? There's so much complexity. So I don't blame anyone for not knowing it. Yeah, I don't understand every aspect of it. So, and I do this every night. So, yeah, man, have a good night. Thank you.
Yep. Good night.
Appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna grab something real quick. Another caller, call in. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. Who said that? I am the woke. Thank you for $20. Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please drop a like and subscribe. Drop a like and subscribe. Donate to Jolah Politics. If you use coffee to donate, that is text to speech. If you want to donate through there as well. Phone lines are open again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Call.
Hello.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. I'll keep it short with you. I just want to say I appreciate you actually like doing the due diligence, looking shit up. Like there's so many Republicans like that I feel like they just have feelings about things and just like like
Yeah.
it's just like they're like they hear a topic and their first instinct is just how they're gonna indefinitely feel about it. Like it's just weird and like the facts over feelings party has completely switched. It's gone complete reversal. And it's insane, bro. So I appreciate you for actually looking stuff up and like using your phone, your computer to actually fact check anything. Like it's like they don't have like AI on their phone, anything. Like, it's like they're holding around nothing all day. I know they're on TikTok all day watching these people, but like it's just weird.
They're lazy.
But I
They're lazy,
appreciate
man. You know what they say though. Liberals get emotional because they do know things that are messed up, and they get too emotional over it. But Republicans get emotional because they don't know what's going on. They just get confused, start yelling things.
Honestly, they'll like I still talk to so many people, friends of mine that are Republicans, and they'll bring up stuff for on his campaign. I'm like, have y'all been paying attention? Like y'all been seeing like we're 108 days in, whatever. Like he said.
Well, he
some
was on
crazy
Joe
stuff.
Rogan for 3 hours, dude. He was on Joe Rogan for 3 hours.
Literally, I saw these documentaries. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Listen to what he says. We're bringing back Alcatraz. What are we doing here? Like, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, the
but
tariffs are not paid by Americans. He still says that. Just blatantly false shit. It's crazy.
Bro, there's a reason he called Bezos like the day they dropped that they were gonna start showing the prices. Like he didn't just frankly call him at 6 in the morning for nothing.
Well, they said Amazon showing the taxes people pay is a hostile and political act. So if that's hostile and political, then they're just babies for real. Holy crap.
I mean, it's true, bro. It's true. I'm just tired of all this winning. You know, I'm tired. I'm just tired of all this winning. It's crazy.
No more winning, Mr. Trump. I appreciate the call. Yeah, we're gonna feel a lot of winning over the next few weeks and months once the tariffs kick in.
Oh, of course. I'm really for the next 20 years. We're gonna get his kids involved. Like it's gonna be great. Like.
Hell yeah.
But you have a good one, brother.
Thank you too, man. Thank you for watching. Hey, it's watermelon time, dude. Watermelon's out. Watermelon's out. Watermelon, watermelon. I love watermelon. I love watermelon. I love watermelon. I love watermelon. All right. Someone said he urban. Why are you making fun of the caller for being urban? What the hell? Yum. Again, it's the same meme. It's like, why did you kill him? I don't know. He was here illegally. Oh, it's okay. He's here illegally. You can kill him. It's okay. Hello. Going all right. How about you?
All is well. I'm just curious of what makes you, because you guys haven't been saying anything, so but why do you say Trump is bad?
So he's crashing the economy. He's cutting cancer research in half. He fired 80,000 VA workers and hundreds of thousands of veterans from the federal government who are working hard to support our country. He has a cryptocurrency scheme where he is using the presidency to profit. The most corrupt act of any president in American history. And yeah, he's defying Supreme Court orders.
Oh man. No, I'll go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
crazy. He's defying 9-0 Supreme Court orders. He's defying that. He lies about everything. He's delusional. I think he might be brain dead at this point, like legally. Kind of crazy.
But it's literally been proven that Trump has been the most honest president that we've ever had. Only 31 years old, but he's honest. He has been the most honest president.
Yeah.
I mean, even when, for instance, you said he's the most corrupt. How do you say that when we had Bill Clinton as president and Hillary Clinton, and the Clintons are still the most corrupt, the most contaminated politicians that we've ever had?
Yeah, that's why
You
Trump
have the
supported
debate in
them.
which
That's why Trump
admits-
supported
hold up,
them
wait,
after
time out, I'll
partying
let
with
you
Jeffrey
talk.
Epstein and P. Diddy. Yeah.
But he admitted to going to Epstein's island, unlike all the other people who we had to actually get the list.
Yeah, he was
And
best friends with Epstein. He could not hide it. He could not hide it if he
didn't
tried.
say he admitted that he didn't like the dude. He wasn't best friends with Epstein.
Yeah, he
You
was.
can't take
The
what
first
you
time
say-
he
you
had sex
can't
with his
take what
wife was
you
on
say
Epstein's
on
like jet or whatever,
CNN.
or his boat, whatever.
So that it's the weird thing, because listen, I'm a black man, and it's like when people say that Trump is racist, but y'all take away the fact that he put up with Mike Tyson, he was there for Michael Jackson, he was there for. So
He is.
many
He is
Al
racist. Yeah,
Sharpton,
he likes. Yeah,
was
he
there
like.
for
He does
so
like rich
many-
black. He does like rich black people. You're right.
It has nothing to do with money. He
it
literally
does.
put. Okay, so what about the lady that he? What about the black?
Look
lady
at that. There's
he
my
let live
African
with
American
Trump?
over there. Where's my African American at? Where is he at?
I'm just saying, but wait, time out. But Joe Biden goes, hey, if you're not black, if you don't vote for me as a black man, that's offensive.
Okay.
But you guys,
Am I gonna
sit there,
defend
you
Joe
guys are
Biden?
standing, you guys are.
You
One
can
more
tell
time?
they're criminal just did Joe Biden say you can tell they're criminals just by looking at them?
Yes. Do you not listen to Joe Biden's speeches? But I'm not even.
when
gonna
did
get
he
into
say
it
that?
like that?
When did he say that? When did Joe Biden say that? I don't even know when he said that. When did he say you could tell that black people are criminals just by looking at them like Trump did?
So when we look at everything that Trump's administration is doing, why are you guys mad about Doge? Why are you guys mad that he's literally saving billions, trillions of taxpayers' dollars? Why are you guys mad that he's doing
Because
things
he's
about
not.
tariffs? Wait, time
Because
out.
he's not doing that. He's not doing that. That's why.
Why is he not? How is he not?
You can see the Treasury expenditures. You can look at the budgets Republicans want to pass. You can see that we spent $200 billion more than we did at this point last year. We're spending more money. We're going to lose money on ROI from cutting all these government agents.
Can you show your proof? Can you show any of the stuff? Can you show evidence on anything that you have? Because everything.
Nah,
I'm
you have
speaking
Google.
over, I have evidence.
You
in
got
front of
Google.
me.
You got Google.
But okay, so everybody here in the chat can see that y'all Google what he's saying, and y'all see
Yeah.
that this is
Well, they
nothing
know.
he's
They
saying is
watch me.
accurate. Okay.
Can you prove that they did cut anything?
Yeah. Let me see. The first. You have Google in front of you. We can research this together.
Well, my big thing is, they cut cancer research by 50%. They fired every person that was leading cancer research in America. There were 28 people, and now there's 0. So, like, when you see things like that and killing national park services, and it just doesn't seem too good.
I mean, to me, my opinion. This is just my opinion. When you look at what cancer research we're doing and the results of our cancer research, if anything, it seems like we're only researching how to make products and make things more cancerous, how to make the environment more
Oh,
cancerous.
yeah.
You
That
wanna
Donald
look
Trump...
at-
Oh, Joe Biden was actually suing a corporation for dumping cancerous chemicals into a black community's water supply, and Donald Trump dropped the lawsuit because he got paid off by the company. So
Which company?
I forget. You can Google it though, but that did happen. You can. Google it.
I literally just had my Google listen to what you said, and AI
Okay,
Google.
Google.
has not pulled anything.
Okay, Joe Biden, Trump reverse cancer. Oh, I got watermelon juice on my freaking keyboard. That sucks. Look up Cancer Alley lawsuit. Look up Cancer Alley
Joe Biden,
lawsuit.
Trump, reverse cancer. You said cancer.
Cancer Alley, in Louisiana.
Cancer Alley.
Yeah. Insurance Journal has an article on it. One of them. The Guardian has one. New York Times. Chemical industry asking Trump for exemption forms.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that happened. It's happening in a lot of different areas.
But
Because Biden put in a bunch of new
how
regulations.
How is this affecting us though? How is this go? You go. Trump is bad. How is this making Trump bad?
Because
all
Biden was
this is about-
suing
I
a
don't know if you
company
got
that
deep
was
into-
dumping chemicals into the environment that give cancer to people and other pollutants, and Biden was going to sue them and stop them and regulate them, and Trump is not going to.
About it. So when you read into it, and I mean, it says in a statement released on Friday evening that this Justice Department said that the dismissal was made in compliance with an executive order issued by Trump for wasteful government and DEI programs. This is my thing. I think it's the best debate, or I don't want to call it an argument when it comes to this. At the end of the day, if my leg gets infected, if I get gangrene in my leg, I don't give a damn if you're a man or female. I don't give a damn if you're gay.
Well, just because it was going to help black people. Well, it was going to help black people, therefore it was DEI.
Yeah,
so,
bro.
yeah.
See, that's the thing.
Helping black
bro.
people's
Like, even
DEI.
as a black person, listen, hear me out. As a black person, we don't need help. We don't need anybody to go, hey.
No, but like it was a black community, so Trump just said it was
as a black person,
DEI.
I'm speaking as a black person.
Okay, honestly, about this issue, I don't care. I really don't care because we are putting black kids. We are putting black kids in the we're putting black kids in the scope of cancer right now. We're putting more black kids in a higher chance of having cancer. That's what I care about more. You could have stupid opinions, but I care about those kids.
You care about more than you guys.
Yeah, I care about the kids. I care about the kids. I care about the environmental polluters that paid off Donald Trump. Yeah, I care about that more.
But Trump has already decided. He's already put in place to get rid of all the dye and all these things that are causing cancer.
Oh, great! He's gonna get rid of dye and he's gonna dump oil and other cancerous chemicals in our water supply. Oh yeah, dude, yeah. You know what? If I had to choose between toxic sludge in the water supply versus dyes, I'll choose dyes any day, brother. Any day.
I mean, if I had to choose between whether we're even creating toxic chemicals or
and by the way, Trump's not going
to
to ban that. I guarantee you, Trump's not going to ban that. Guarantee you. I'll bet any money Trump's not going to ban the dyes. Guarantee you.
He's already did it.
No, he did not. Guarantee you it's not going to go through. Executive orders are not laws.
Already started taking stuff out of the shelves. They can't even sell it. What are you talking about? They've already
guarantee they're not going to ban all the lies or all the dyes. Guarantee it.
What makes you feel like that? Because actions speak louder than words, and he's already
because
started.
He needs actual laws done, and he's not a leader. He's not going to get anything done through Congress. And regardless, the fact you don't care about the pollutants he's going to unleash on I'm sorry you don't care about black communities at all, because Donald Trump's going to put cancerous chemicals back into them. It's not DEI, by the way, to help black communities.
Black communities as a black
yeah, because he's dumping cancerous chemicals. He's dumping more cancerous chemicals into black communities, and you don't care.
How's he putting? You got this one little Louisiana alley in which Trump's not putting the chemicals in there. It's the other businesses and government programs that allowed this to take place this entire time. Trump has only had the office for his 4 years and then the years that he is now. You can't blame America's decline on Trump. But
Donald Trump is ending the lawsuit that was going to crack down on this company. Joe Biden was going to crack down on them. Donald Trump said it's okay because you gave me money, so I'm gonna not do it. That was a landmark. That was a landmark pollution. That was a landmark pollution case that could have set precedent for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sitting here reading about it.
Here's another one from Alabama.
I'm reading the case, and it's okay. Fine. Okay, look up because I'm reading this Louisiana case, and nothing you're saying is in this case.
So the Trump administration killed a landmark civil rights settlement requiring Alabama to address raw sewage pollution in majority black areas.
Wait. Which case is this? Because you just switched it. Which case is this?
Okay, I need to listen for it really quick. Okay, so in Alabama, the Trump administration killed a civil rights settlement requiring Alabama to address raw sewage in a majority black area of southwest of Montgomery, Alabama, saying it's an illegal diversity, equity, and inclusion agreement. The reason they call it DEI is because they view anything that would help anywhere where black people live as DEI. They're calling black people the N-word left and right. You just don't care. It's just sad, bro. Honestly.
But it's true though. It's true though. So this as a black person, anytime they go Black Lives Matter, they try to bruh, that shit don't go. It doesn't go to us. I'm gonna be 100. It doesn't go to the black communities. Nothing. This DEI.
Okay. Focus for a second. Focus. Okay. Wait a second. Wait. It's not DEI. Okay. This is not. Okay. Listen to what I just said. You're not listening to what I just said, bro. Listen. Okay. So what I'm saying is, there was a policy where the Alabama government, the lawsuit, the civil rights settlement was going to say that the Alabama had to address raw sewage pollution in majority black residential areas of southwest Montgomery, okay? So Alabama had to address a civil rights settlement requiring Alabama to address raw sewage pollution in majority black areas, okay? It was not DEI. This was not DEI. But the Trump admin came in and said it is DEI because it was going to help black people. And they think anything that has to do with black people succeeding is DEI.
I mean, technically, if it targets only black people,
No,
how is
it's
it
an
not?
area of Alabama
can't it
that
help
was
America? Why
neglected.
can't it help
Because
America?
it's neglected
Why can't it
because
help
there's
America?
black people
Why
living
can't
there.
why can't instead of let's hear me out. This is just my thing as a black person. Instead of targeting the black people,
I
in
don't.
Louisiana,
Okay, you
instead
can
of
say
targeting
as
the
a black
hear me
person
out,
much
just
as
hear
you
me out.
want,
Instead of
because the black communities have been neglected because there are black people living there, and the
so
government
hear
does
me
not give a shit
out,
about black
bro.
people
You
in
a black person, you
Alabama.
don't live in a black community. I'm a black person from a black community. Why you can't listen to me from experience? Why do y'all have to take what y'all think, how y'all think we feel, or what we going through?
I don't
And
care
so
about how
that's what it
anyone
is. Why don't
feels
y'all
right
ever
now.
take
I care
our
about the raw
consideration of our
sewage.
experience?
Raw sewage has no emotions, bro. I'm sorry, you're emotional, but the raw sewage is not.
No, I'm not putting no emotions in it at all. I'm actually trying to get y'all to
I'm talking about raw
remove
sewage.
emotions.
Can we
remove
agree
race
that raw
from
sewage
everything.
is
So,
bad?
Okay, so hear me out. So instead of you attacking saying, oh, we have to do something for the black people in Alabama, the black people in Louisiana, why can't we do something for all the American citizens that suffer from the hurricane disaster in North Carolina? Why can't we do something for all the American
They
citizens that suffer
do.
from
They
the
do.
hurricane and the flood disasters? And see, that's what Trump is standing on. Trump went
No,
immediately
you
to
gotta
all the
listen. You're
neglected
not
North
listening,
Carolina
bro.
people.
You talk
Did, bro,
good.
within his
Like,
first 100
listen for a
days.
second. Just
What
listen.
you talking about?
They are not saying it's because we have to just help only black people. It's because Alabama did not ever help this community because black people live there, and Alabama doesn't give a shit about black people. Black people, do you live in Alabama?
Yes, they do, bro. Like, I can't stand y'all.
Oh man, you're
think
just
they
defending
are.
the racist government. They do not care about the raw sewage in the black
Why would I
communities. I
defend a
guarantee you.
racist government? Why
Alabama,
would I defend a
do you live in
racist
Alabama?
government? I'm right around the corner.
You know
I literally moved from Texas to Georgia. I'm literally right around
Yeah,
the corner.
Alabama's a
and I go
lot
back
worse
and
than
forth
either of
all the
those
time.
states. Okay, but I'm just saying, raw sewage. It's not about black or white. It's raw sewage in this community.
So why are you
okay?
talking about black communities? So get rid of black communities. So let's talk
Okay,
about the raw
because
sewage
okay,
in
okay.
general,
Listen again,
not
really
raw sewage
slowly.
in
Okay,
black
listen,
communities.
really close, really close to the point here. I said about a black community because the Trump admin is calling it DEI.
You just said we're not talking about color, bro.
Trump is.
So
Trump
make
is
the
saying
statement
DEI.
without
Do you
color,
hear
you'll
me?
see how false
Do you
it
hear me?
is.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Trump is calling it DEI. Trump is. Trump is bringing
How's
in
it
race to
not?
it
How is it not?
because it's about raw sewage in a community.
It's about in the black community, right? Or is it about raw sewage in general? Is it about raw sewage in America? Is it about raw sewage in Alabama, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, New York? Or is it about raw sewage in the
It's
black
about
community? Let's make
both.
this.
It's about both.
It can't be about both.
Yeah,
about
it
one
can
or
be
the
about
other, bro.
both. You got to study. You got to study this.
Okay, so
I'm
if
not
it wasn't
not even kidding. You got
if
to
it
study
wasn't
this.
about black communities, how would he be able to list it as something that stands for DEI?
I mean, he labels plane crash. He literally had a plane crash and labeled it as DEI, like a day into the presidency. He calls
Now,
everything
this
DEI.
is my thing. If you're getting on a flight, why do you not want your pilot to be a qualified pilot? Why does it? Oh, we need 3 gay pilots. We need 3
Hey,
female
just because,
pilots. We need 3 Asian
hey,
pilots.
dude, you're
All that
racist.
shit
You
shouldn't be
you are
relevant.
racist. You are racist against
How
black
is
people.
that
I'm just saying. You
racist?
are.
And
You
I
are.
spoke-
You are.
and I
You are.
spoke
You
on-
are, dude. Just because they're black doesn't mean they're unqualified, bro.
I'm black. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't
Just
care
because
if
they're
you're
black
I
doesn't
don't
mean
care
they're
if you're gay, I don't
unqualified.
care if you're a female. I want you to
Okay,
be
then
qualified
stop
because you know how
listing
to
it.
fly a plane.
Okay, I
don't
said
want you
okay,
to fly my plane
but you realize
because
no,
we don't
but
have
that's,
gay
that's
people.
not what's
I don't
happening.
give a damn if
dude.
we don't have any black pilots. I don't want no black pilot if a black person can't fly. That's
That's
not
not
racist.
happening.
That's
That's
just
not
I want to
happening.
make it to
Okay.
California and back.
The racist
When I
part,
fly
the
to
racist. Okay,
California,
yeah, I think
wanna land.
you might be racist. Okay, the racist part
What's
is
wrong with
assuming
that?
the racist part is assuming someone's not qualified just because they're black.
No, it's assuming they're not qualified because they didn't go through the
Ah,
necessary
see,
qualifications.
no, you're
has
racist,
nothing
bro.
to
You
do
actually
with-
are racist. I'm sorry. I hope you resolve that. Have a good night.
Wait.
That's messed up, dude. No, he actually is low key. Like he is. Unironically though, the fact I mentioned black pilots and he instantly went to, oh, I don't want to have an unqualified pilot flying my plane. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I hope you get a good media contract with Candace Owens. For real. It's like so if you look into American history, so areas like this town in Alabama, 80% of the septic systems are failing in the region. The area is over 70% black. So if you look into American history, these areas were purposely kept into subjugated and tortured environments, especially in the South. So you could locate these poor black areas in the South and see where they started from the end of slavery through Reconstruction to the end of segregation. Like the governments in Alabama made sure black people were in the worst possible position to succeed. Okay, so when we talk about we're gonna help get rid of this raw sewage on the basis of civil rights. We're doing it because the governments in America purposely neglected black communities for so long. That's the whole point of it, and that's a factual thing. I don't care about the talk about allies. I don't care about the talk about SJWs. I care about the facts of what America has done and what America should do moving forward to resolve those things and to give equal opportunity to as many people in America as possible. That's the whole point here. I don't care who's saying it. It's the dumbest point you could possibly have. I hope he comes in here and sees how racist the chat is being towards him, and they agree with him. They agree with him, and they're being racist towards him. All right. Please drop a like and subscribe. Can you please, if you want to donate, to Jolah Politics on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, I'd really appreciate it. So what's happening here? Nice. Hello.
I don't think you're the person I was trying to call. My bad.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, how you
This
doing?
is the Jolah thing. Yeah, what's up? I'm doing good. How are you?
Is this the guy that's on the podcast?
This is YouTube. Yeah, this is the YouTube stream thing. I sound different on this.
Oh, my bad, man. Hey, I'm currently listening to your podcast now, and honestly, man, I feel like everything that you're saying is absolutely right. I don't follow politics just like a lot of other people do because I feel like the government, they don't care about neither one of us, whether it's left, right, Democrat or Republican. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a lot of stuff that goes on in our country that a lot of people don't want to speak on because either they're afraid to speak on it or they just don't care. Just like the young man that you were just talking to a few minutes ago that was just getting mad because the facts that you were speaking is 100% true. And he speaks and say, "Oh, I'm black and I'm black." It doesn't have anything to do with race. It has something to do about the simple fact that the president that we have now that's in the position, he doesn't care about neither one of us. He doesn't. It's all a financial gain for him and his friends. That's what it's completely about. It does not matter that, oh, he's going to do this for us. He's going to do that. He's not doing a damn thing for us. I have an aunt that works for the state. I have a lot of family members that works for the state. I've done 5 years in the United States Army, and a lot of veterans that I know is even speaking on the fact of Trump is not doing not a damn thing for us. I live in a dominant black community, and I live in, as people say, the ghetto. I'm 100% from there. And all the facts that you just made earlier is 100% the truth. You get what I'm saying? And I respect that of everything that you said. And everything that you're saying, I respect that. You get what I'm saying? And the people that get on these YouTube channels and a lot of people that get on these videos and say that Trump is for us, Trump is doing this, Elon Musk is this, and Elon Musk is that, and everything that they're saying, it does not make a damn bit of sense. It's all a blanket that they're putting over the American people's head. The so-called patriotic people that are speaking all this bullshit about Trump is doing this, Trump is doing that. He's not doing a damn thing for us.
Yeah.
Making his rich friends richer. He making his buddies overseas, all this so-called tariffs and everything. It's not doing nothing but making all our pockets empty. And it doesn't make any common sense while people are so brainwashed and so mind control of what these so-called government, just like the simple fact that happened in, was it the House, right? Was it the Senate building that all the people riot the building and some of the people got arrested and some people didn't? Now, speaking of this personally myself, let's just say if it was a group of black people or Hispanic people or Native American people that done that, and what do you think that would have happened to those people?
They would have started spraying. No, they would have killed him. Honestly.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't want to speak on that situation. They're like, oh, well, they had their freedom of speech. They had their rights to do that. And just like a lot of law enforcement agencies that kill people and get away with it.
just like the guy that's over and that got deported overseas, and the people are speaking for the man to come back. Whether anybody that did something in their past, whether they was Crip, Blood, folk, Eastside Rider, it does not matter what they past was. Their past is their past. As long as they're not doing the same stupid shit now as today, it doesn't matter what
No,
they
it's
did
even
in
more
their
messed
past.
up. 'Cause think about it this way too, because he escaped gangs in El Salvador at 16. They basically ran up on the family business and made them do give them some of the revenue. So he escaped that. But he came here. They gave him status to not be returned to El Salvador because of the gangs. But that makes it even more messed up because they put him in. They sent him to this torture prison in El Salvador with all the gang members, right? So that's even crazier. Yeah.
And not trying to cut you off, and I apologize, but just like the fact of how the way that the guy he was under a protection order when he came down here to the U.S.
Yeah, it's hard too because they don't understand the laws. If you escape like a dictatorship or a gang-run country and you make it to America, even if you come through illegally, there's laws in place to make sure that you're not going to be like criminalized because you escaped persecution or violence. So he was here. He went to court. They said, okay, you have a legitimate reason to be concerned for your safety, and then he applied for a worker's permit. He got accepted for a working permit after that. Yeah, he was going every year then.
I have a friend of mine that was going through that program as well. And I know about that personally. And a lot of people, they like, oh, yeah, he was this, he was that. And I just feel like it's stupid. Like I said, dude, I respect everything that you're saying. And there's a lot of people that feels like Trump is doing so much for us and he's trying to make America great again. I'm just going to make this I'm just going to make this statement here. When they say making America great again, when has America has ever been great? People say that the people that come from, what they call them again, illegal immigrants. Yeah. Believe it or not, everybody is illegal immigrants in the U.S. soil because America was not black, white, Native American. Well, not Native American. It was all belonged to Native Americans, and it's just crazy how the way they say, oh, making America great again. It was never great. Every single time the U.S. goes to war with a country, we always the ones that paying from what the U.S. has done. Mm-hmm. And we all come out of pocket for that shit.
I was going to say, too, like that guy that called in, the fact I would bring up, like, Trump blaming plane crashes when they're white pilots, by the way, white men driving it. And I say DEI. He's like, I don't want an unqualified black pilot drive. I'm like, why does black mean unqualified to you? And he keeps saying, I'm a black man. Like, I'm not going to let you talk bad about black people just because you're a black man. Like, and talk about giving kids cancer and raw sewage and that being okay. And apparently it's DEI to help out because we know black communities, especially in Alabama, were neglected on purpose. And we know that for a fact. And the fact we have these lawsuits and Trump reversed it after he called in saying he cares because Trump is getting the cancerous chemicals out of the food, which he's not actually doing. Like, and he's like, well, I'm a black man. I'm a black man. I'm like, well, you don't care about black people. Like, you're like, he said that some of the oh my God, he's having people in the comment section, all the Trumpers being racist and like they're on his side and they're being racist towards him. I don't even know if I hope he's getting paid or something though.
And see, my thing is like when he say about the qualified of a black pilot or whatever, like nowadays anybody can get a pilot license. Anybody can get CDLs. Anybody can get driver license. You know what I mean? It's stupid when the comment that he made was, oh, I want this right here. He got to do this. It sounds stupid. Like, what are you doing for the community? What are you doing?
Here's a comment I see. Someone said, so y'all really prefer to have a transgender pilot over a pilot who's going to set you from point A to point B. You realize no one's going to let you fly if you can't fly a damn plane. They don't just let people up there because they're black. It's not Make-A-Wish. That's what Trump wants to do, Make-A-Wish shit, but they don't do that. If you're a black pilot, you probably worked harder than all the other pilots because it's so hard to get through that shit if you're a black pilot. Like, it's crazy. I would trust a pilot more if they're black because I know they have to work their ass off for it. It's just so...
Exactly. I'm sorry. That just got me hyped up. I apologize. But what you said is the truth. And people that does positions, hell, I know a lot of fucking people now as today that work their asses off, bust their asses from tooth and fucking nail, blood, sweat, and tears inside of a job, and they don't have a higher position because some people don't want them in a higher position. And people that never done a single bit of hard work or labor a day in their life, got a higher position and don't even know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucking sad. And I live in North Carolina. And the communities in North Carolina, the eastern border of North Carolina, are shit. Look it up. Yes, and I know you can look it up, and I know you do. Like, the eastern border of North Carolina is shit completely. The eastern border of North Carolina is so racist as hell. It's so secretly racist.
Yeah, no, I went to a vacation in the Outer Banks the one time, and I was driving through it. And I know it's crazy, but I was driving on the roads. I'm like, oh, I see like a random little like school building, like these fields with these weird like road names. I'm like, yeah, I don't like what's going on here. Like, you could just feel it when you're driving through there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And look, I know this for a fact. I've been living in North Carolina since I was a child. You know what I mean? And I've been to so many different places, and I see that here in North Carolina and so many other, southern places in North Carolina, hell, even up north, racism is real. It's still real, and people still try to hide it because of the good old boys situation. If better yet, do you have a way for me to send you something here on a town that's right next to mine? You know, the Pride Boy thing that they
the Pride Boys, yeah.
Yeah, they was sending out they was putting on the gas pumps or whatever, the Pride Boys recruitment things on the pump. And I asked the manager of the store, look, hey, look, you got this on your pumps. Can you remove it? They said no, because it's freedom of speech. I'm like, what you mean? Like, why would you be okay with that? To put something like that up there, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's not racist to me. It's not racist. They don't do that to me. It's not racist to you. Just like when police go out there and bully people and harass people, it's not mean to you. It's not bad to you until they get ready to come after you and do it to you.
Yeah, my friend, my friend I met actually, I used to coach. Well, no, I didn't really coach, but I played in like NBA 2K leagues a little bit after I got out of college. And my one friend from that, he lives outside of Charlotte, and he's like this like 6'7" guy. He played a little bit of college ball, like basketball. He ended up like working his way up through like his company, like no college degree. Like he worked for years and years, was able to make his way up to making like 6 digits, like a crazy manager position from being like someone who just worked at the counter at the bank starting off of like 10 years ago. But even him in the suburb he lives in now, he had to get like the permits to build his own. He has enough money to buy his own basketball court with his last name in the middle. But his neighbors were still making these remarks about, oh, I hope you don't have parties here with all that loud music to have all those friends here. Like still, like he'll make all the money in the world. He lives right outside of Charlotte, and even there you're gonna feel it. Like obviously you have enough money to not be affected by like racist policies, but you're still gonna feel it, and people don't understand that. Like it's complicated, but.
And it's sad. It's so sad that I'm sorry. I'm kind of hitching up my trailer. I'm still at work right now.
No, you're good.
It's sad that a lot of people, they're so blind to it. And I want to get into more with you. I really do want to get into more with you about the policies about, like the law enforcement.
Yeah, you could text this number. You could text this number or something. I have a Discord channel too, if you want to send me something on there. But yeah, I have a lot of people calling in, so I don't know how to keep track of it all. But if you have something, you could send me a text through. But just remember, like someone said in the comments, the person who caused racism is actually Barack Obama, because all the racists got so mad when they saw a black guy in charge, they had to be racist again. That's what they all say. I love when people say that shit.
and it's sad. It's sad like a motherfucker. It's so sad. Just like the fact of, like, I've served, and 90% of the so-called fake patriots that get up there and say, oh, Trump America, no racists, You got a lot of them that does that stupid shit, but I guarantee you, none of them, not a single one of them that's on the timeline right now, inside of your what's the name right now, I guarantee you not a single fucking one of them has gotten out there and actually tried to sign up to serve the military. None of them went out there and tried their hardest to do a damn thing for their community. They sit on their asses and look at TV and say, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that for us. 90% of the people that sit there bitching and complaining, they mom and dads are taking care of them. Some of them still live in a fucking basement, started doing a damn thing for themselves. None of them. So
yeah, true.
All of I feel like each and every last one of them that's crying and complaining are still a bunch of idiots.
True. You know and one thing I'll say for education for everyone too, I just thought about this because no one knows it, but like think about like World War II and all these huge wars, even through the 60s. Black people served and even Jewish people. During World War II, black people and Jewish people were forced to serve in different squads. So we had black people dying for this country, and they were segregated in the damn military, going to die in foreign nations. And people say today that wasn't that long ago. Like MLK should still be alive today. It's not that long ago. It's really not that long ago. But people want to act like it's people act all dumb and they act like they don't know what happened because I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. I appreciate the call. I appreciate you calling in and that last call was crazy for sure.
Yeah, fuck him. I'm sorry for cooking.
No, you're good. You're good.
But if there's any type of way, if I guess I'll give you my email or whatever, and if you can send something through your post or whatever, so I can email you. I'll give you some information. Well, not information, but I'll send you some pictures and videos of the harassments that I've been through with law enforcement and a lot of racism that I've been through, as well as on the fire department that I was on. And I can guarantee you that a lot of them won't even, put up the balls enough to say something about that racism. You know what I mean?
You could text the same number. The same number we're talking on right now. You could text this number. It's a Google. It's like a Google phone number, so I'll get the text messages. But yeah, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for sharing and no, it's good. I think I like conversations like this too because I don't want to yell the whole night. So yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, there's too much high blood pressure going on around here, man.
Yeah.
We getting too old to be yelling and fussing about shit that we ain't got no control of, man.
I guess so.
Because either way you put it, all of us are getting screwed by the same ones that claim that they're there for us.
I want to say one more thing actually. I just thought about this. So like when I talked about Joe Biden suing, because Joe Biden was supporting that lawsuit for Alabama to help out with that raw sewage. So like politicians, like some are better people than others. Like I think some are decent people, some are terrible people. But in general, they only do that. Like Biden only does that because the Democratic voters and Democratic base pressures him to do decent things. So he needs to do some decent things. So even if he has big money, he needs to balance the interest groups, whether it's unions, whether it's just people, whether it's people who served who are supporting them, whether it's like teachers unions, police unions, whatever it might be. All these different influences will push them in different directions. So Democrats do better things because their voters push for better things. So politicians are tools. They are tools, and we need to treat them like tools. It's not a personal relationship. If anything, it should just be like, what are you doing for me? What are the actual policies? You should want to know what the hell they're actually doing.
Exactly. We need to know, as American citizens, we need to know where the fuck is all our money going to and coming and going. You know what I mean? There's a lot of programs that's in the U.S. that does not need to be there, and that the government is getting completely filthy rich off of, and everyone that's poor is getting poor, and everyone that's rich is getting fucking richer, and people don't see that shit. And they're stupid enough to be like, oh, he's doing this for us. No, he's not doing shit for us. He's doing it for them. Look at the black community. Yeah. Look at the poor communities. Everything is getting poorer and poorer, and the fucking rich is getting richer and richer.
I do think it's a white thing too. It is definitely a white thing because it's like they think he's on their side. You know, when he does this shit, they think he's being corrupt for them. That's why they think he's on their team and everything.
Yeah, but I thank you so much for letting me, get up there because I called a few times and I'm sorry about that. I ain't mean to be the weirdo. But
no, you're good. There's a lot of people calling,
But yeah, man, my mother, she works into a government position. I have a lot of family members that work in the state and federal positions in, my family. And I'm telling you, everybody speaks on it, and they just saying like, man, my aunt, she called me one day. Well, my cousin, she had called me one day, and she was like, man, I don't even know if I have my job long enough. Yeah. I've been working in this job for over 30 years, and I'm afraid that I won't have this job anymore because of all the cutbacks.
Because they want to cut taxes for the billionaires, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's just like this whole tariff situation about the movies. Like, that shit is stupid. You're trying to find tariffs about everything.
It's all stupid. You know, it's crazy, too, because they have to just say he doesn't, like, they have to either say, imagine your guy being so stupid and brain dead that whenever he says something, you have to say, he's joking. He can't be that dumb. He's joking.
Yeah.
He just says things. It's like, bro, what do you mean? Like, people are dying now. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, like, You gotta look at an idiot like, man, shut up. Sometimes I wish to God you could just slap people. They can make that legal now. Just slapping stupidity. I wish you can slap stupidity in the head, because there was a guy on YouTube. I'm gonna send you the link to that. There was a guy. He was at the time. He called Trump Uncle Trump now, and he gets mad when somebody speaks bad about Trump. Yeah, he's like, Uncle Trump. It's my Uncle Trump. Like, bro, are you serious?
Well, Trump has the one black guy in his administration working as the urban development guy, so
Oh my God. This country is going to a shit.
Well, he's with
basket, and
Oprah.
people-
Trump likes Oprah and Snoop Dogg, so I mean, how can it be racist? It's crazy.
And you know what? Don't even get me started on that. How
And
in the hell
Saquon Barkley.
How in the hell does Hawaii wind up getting, the whole situation with Hawaii? And next minute later, they're still asking people, The Rock and Oprah still asking people, ordinary fucking people, hey, can we get some money to take care of these people over here? Bitch, y'all rich as hell. How the hell you ain't got no money to take care of them? Sit your ass down somewhere.
Or like recycling too. They want us to recycle all these bottles, but they'll be dumping oil in the ocean like crazy.
Oh my fucking man. Hey, look, brother. Thank you so much for what you're doing and spreading the truth. And man, keep doing what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Make it fucking strong. The ones that don't like what you're saying are the stupid ones. You know,
I gotta save that. I gotta save that. I'm saving that voice clip real quick. I'm gonna make that one of my.
Thank you so much. If the ones, my grandparents told me this. The ones that speak so ill about you are the ones that's so brain dead. Sometimes you got to look past stupid. Like people, that's the ones it is. The ones that the naysayers, as they say. The naysayers are the ones that's more controlled and brainwashed. Everybody, there's a lot of people that's in this country are like sheep. They will follow the damn dog across the damn oceans and even across the damn off the cliffs. But there's so many people that look at it and be like, nah, that shit ain't right. I ain't going that direction. And now the ones that say, nah, that don't look right are the ones that's looked at like they're the bad guys. I've always known something. Without good, there's no evil. Without evil, there's no good. And just like the simple fact that you said earlier about the young man that, about his past and everything and about all this other politics and stuff like that, man, look, I can go on for days, but I know you got other callers calling. Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep your head up, cuz. And, I wish the best for you.
You know what they say, somebody got to do it. So.
Hell yeah, and you do it as best as you possibly can do it, and I like that shit, man. All the way from North Carolina, thank you, man. I'm not a politics type person. I'm just the type of hard working ass man that take care of my kid and take care of mine. And I say this pretty much like there's some good politics out here in this world that's for us, like the Kennedys. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to say every president that was there for us. I'm not going to say every president won't there for us. I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say I can call stupid out when I see it. Trust me, I done seen plenty of stupid in this damn world. And what that young man just said a few minutes ago, he was fucking stupid. And I hope he can hear me. He is pretty much stupid as shit. But thank you so much, brother, for doing what you're doing. And thanks for having me up there.
You don't know nothing about, I don't know nothing about cars, but I guess I don't think the mechanic has to like me to do a good job on the car, So people got to be able to evaluate things. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hope you have a great night.
Oh, thank you so much, brother.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one. What a good freaking dude! I enjoyed that call. That was my most enjoyable call in a while, dude. That was a good one, dude. I got that voice clip at the end, dude. That voice clip. I gotta record that. Make it a soundboard thing. Everyone that disagrees are stupid. I agree. They are. They're stupid ones. That was awesome. All right. Okay, we'll take another call. Who's this guy? That was a really nice conversation. I really enjoyed that one.
You live in Alabama?
Hey, I'm ready to get on, my man.
Oh, no. We got more people calling. Yo, is this Johnny Bravo?
Nah, man, this is Johnny. I won't say the
Okay.
last name. I got to keep it private. So
Yeah,
that
no,
last guy,
yeah.
I didn't really hear much of what he was saying towards the end. What was he like? His main points?
His main points were mainly that we need everyone to be able to call bullshit out and be able to come together to make sure we're advocating for ourselves and our communities, our families, and making sure we don't get caught up in the political bullshit.
Yeah, because that nigga was fucking stupid, bro.
He was
like,
awesome.
why would you even? Nah, that dude was fucking retarded. And
Nah.
Jolah, bro, like, you're aware that you're just a beta, right?
Yeah. Well, I know that when you think about the world, you're insecure, so you got to come out like that. And I hope you get confident so we can have a real conversation man to man about the real stuff in the world.
Jolah, let me tell you something,
You know what I'm
Jolah.
saying?
Listen. Jolah, bro, hear me out, Jolah. You gotta do one thing in your life, bro. You gotta stop these calls. You gotta stop this bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. You're not
It's
going
not
to make
worth
a
it.
difference on these phone calls. You know how you make
Yeah.
a difference? Go out on the
You be a
streets,
little whiny
commit
beta like
crimes, and go
you.
fight people, bro. Go fight people for your cause, bro. Go actually commit mutual combat and go
Nah,
fight Republicans.
nah. I'm against violence. I'm for talking it out like true Americans. America the beautiful. You know what they say? You know Mariah Carey?
Jola, you couldn't fight if you needed to. Like honestly, if we were to
That
put
is true.
100
That is true.
Republicans, if we were to put no better yet, if we were to put 100 you versus a gorilla, you're not gonna beat that gorilla. You know that, right?
I think that I would probably all right, someone call in who's wants to talk about the world. You know, drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for joining Jolah Politics. I really appreciate it. I just saw donations. I forgot to say thank you. Thank you. Let me open it up real quick. Phone lines are open though. Phone lines are open. Okay, 1 second. Thank you so much to Sri from earlier. Thank you so much. L, thank you so much, L. I really appreciate it. $5. Thank you, L. Thank you, L. Thank you for being a patriot and for speaking to the misinformed folks who would otherwise use their vote to destroy the country, not your country, our country, the country. Thank you so much, L. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Cabe. Caleb. I don't know if you left a message. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. God's work, God's plan. You know, Drake. Does anyone, if I say this verse from this one song, do you know what song it is? It goes, your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think people like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get in a cell for the rest of their lives. You know that song? Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I'm reaping what I sow, okay. Got a Benjamin and Jackson all in my house like I'm Joe, okay. Hellcat. Everybody want to be demon until they get chipped by a throwaway.
75,000 a year and yours makes 200,000 a year. Like that's technically inequality, but it's
Equality.
not at the level. It's not at the level that there's going to be a huge difference in the opportunities I have in my life and the opportunities you have in your life. So I would
We're
say,
listening until I get a caller, by the way.
oh, good. So I would say,
Are you
to
live?
that effect, he is. So I would say, to that effect, the inequalities at that level is not at the point where it's going to produce a structural advantage or disadvantage for certain types of people. So it's not that I'm against inequality per se. I'm against the types of inequality that create massive structural disadvantages for certain people. So there's
to
room
that,
for it. Yeah.
and to that, I would say again, there's no reason why you would only look at income. At the same way you have a mentally retarded person and you have a 160 IQ person. That's a massive disparity. And I also just like to say that we don't like what is income? What is money? Like why it's not that the people who gain wealth in a free
I need
society
callers, guys. I'm listening to my
did
Discord.
so
Oh, there's a caller.
unfairly or
Hi, caller.
not a
That's the Discord. Join the Discord, guys. It's in every channel description. Hi, this is the YouTube political stream.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
All right. I just kind of wanted to see what you thought about, like, how to, like, move forward. I feel like we've had all these, like, race and culture discussions so many times.
Race and culture discussions. How to move forward with what?
Like, you know, with the political sphere, or with it improving America, or just existing. I don't know.
So your microphone is going every direction in the world. But I did hear what you said, but I don't know if we could continue talking because your voice is cracking up really bad, but I will respond to that. Just like where to go in general. Right now we are, I would personally assume that most laws federally are not real. Like when it comes to the federal government, there's no laws. So we need to really rely on state governments, making sure we understand local elections. I would say right now for everyone, becoming more familiar with your local law enforcement and your local government, like local government workers, regardless of political ideology, unless if they're like crazy MAGA. But knowing law enforcement, knowing National Guards, knowing your state, knowing who's in your state police is a really big deal now. And organizing and making sure that everyone understands that you're all neighbors, you're all in a community. Whatever brings it to the real world more so than just being on your phone as much as possible. It gets them off their phone as well. And we need people to look at each other as neighbors and not as political enemies that we are going to fight if things get bad in America, and they probably will. So we need to come together as much as possible in a real way and not rely on the federal government too much to do that for us. So I think we should assume we don't have a constitution. Everything right now is all organizing and public opinion and influence. So if you make content, share it around. If you have a content creator that you like, you could share their videos around. I would say whatever is a convincing message to move public opinion is going to be moving public opinion is like the ultimate thing right now. And that the raw power and influence is big because there are no institutional checks at this point other than public opinion. So
Right. Yeah, I see us running into a lot of issues though. Like I'm in a really rural community. Like my cell phone doesn't really work here. It's really hard to like connect with the older people or even the younger people really. From like taking these ideas from the internet and applying them in real life. And I'm sure the cities have their own struggles.
yeah, and I would say that even if you're not religious for anyone, and again, don't go to a cult. There are some cult churches which are very dangerous, but I would say go to church if you're not too scarred from it. I know a lot of people have trauma associated with certain religions and religions in general, but whatever the community places are, it might be a church. You might be able to find a more open and equal church. Definitely don't go anywhere like crazy. But any community center where you can be public.
It's hard to find any kind of gathering that's willing to even consider anything other than Trump.
Yeah.
It's blasphemy, you know. But yeah, I definitely agree with all your ideas. They're great. That's how to convene communities.
Well, if you don't have access to community, then like I was saying, share content around on the internet and take care of yourself then. Because if you don't have anywhere to go, then try to find what you can. Maybe make a Facebook group. I know from my hometown, there's a lot of kids who are from really bad backgrounds or even just like closed backgrounds with their minds. Who, if there was a Facebook group to join, it would really help them keep their heads up too. So try to make that community wherever it is, even if it's not in person. Make a Facebook group. Try to get people that are like-minded, and then you could keep on expanding that web. Whatever can open up to more community and more knowing each other. I will say though that your microphone is it sounds like a robot from 25 planets away. So we can keep going. But no worries. But yeah, I just want to let you know before I hang up, so you don't think I'm just hitting the FU button. But yeah, thank you for the call. Sounded like a robot through. Ooh, I have watermelon, dude. It's so good. I love watermelon. Wow, that's some good stuff. Corn. I love corn. I love corn.
I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change. But the best thing about corn is the grease. The corn break can restore your energy. You really appreciate that whole world when you love something. If you anyone loves corn, if you come to me, I can tell you all about it. If I was surrounded by corn, I would eat all of it.
Smoke yo.
Nice. Cool. That was cool. That's a cool song. That was a really cool song. All right. More calls. One more call. One more. Thank you for all the support tonight, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One big club and you're not in it. It's one big club and you're not in it, guys. Remember that. How about this, guys?
Call from
Albert.
Hello?
Oh man, this is Albert.
Howdy, what's up?
Excuse my cousin, what was his name? John, that's not a very good guy. So how you doing, Jolah?
I don't know.
So let's actually discuss something. What is the topic that's on your mind?
It's corn.
Like, what have you been talking about past couple of days?
Probably Trump doing the biggest money corruption scandal in presidential history.
Wait, what is that?
The cryptocurrency.
What do you mean? I actually have not been following this, so I actually want to hear.
So Trump has a cryptocurrency where it's paying him directly. Anyone could buy into it, and if you're a top 200 purchaser of it, then you get special access to the president. If you're a top 25 purchaser of this cryptocurrency, then you get a special private meeting with the president in the White House with the other top 25 donors. It could be from any country. You're paying the president directly. Trump has made well over $1 billion so far being president from this cryptocurrency. It's not even insider trading. I would rather insider trading, to be honest. It'd be much more difficult to do stock tips. But yeah, this is just like blatant corruption. Probably it 100% is the biggest corruption scandal in American history, but no one really cares. So
is it illegal?
It's not illegal, I don't think, because the cryptocurrency is like a legal loophole, but it's the biggest like corruption thing. Yeah.
So if it's not illegal, then how is it corruption? By definition, that wouldn't make sense.
You could be corruption could be illegal. Why not? Why can corruption not be legal if you're getting paid off by foreign adversaries?
No, I mean, but in the sense of something like cryptocurrency, like how are you interpreting this to be corruption?
Because anyone
Like,
can
it's
pay
legal,
him any
it's-
amount of money. You could have legal corruption. Yeah, it's legal corruption.
No, I agree. I will take a step back to that, but I'm saying how is it legal corruption?
So, like when Trump gives preferential treatment to Saudi Arabia in a deal, or if he gives treatment to or exemptions to Apple, which he has given already, or to Tesla or whatever, they can just pay him through the cryptocurrency, have it be legal, and pay him directly for favors. Like,
Do you have proof of this on transactions or?
I mean, the top 225 list is going to come out. If he's going to say, like, okay, it's kind of sad I need to even go in this far before someone will say this is really bad. But, like, I mean, obviously when the rankings come out, we can see a ranking. But other than that, it'll be anonymous for all the transactions. So who knows? We can only assume what the market cap is and how much money him and his partners are pulling out of it. So,
I mean, I'd have to look into it. I don't have enough facts on it. I don't know if it's opportunity or corruption because I haven't looked into it enough.
it could be both, but regardless, it's the biggest. Like, I don't know. I kind of give up at this point. Like, I think the authoritarians won because one goal of the authoritarian, like fascists, historically, is to make reality not matter anymore. Because Trump does something every day that would get any other president removed from office. Like Watergate happens every day now under Trump, like what Nixon got removed for. So like when it comes to this money thing, it's like if Americans don't care, they kind of deserve the country to collapse. Like honestly.
Don't you think you're throwing away like these titles way too loosely? Like, come on.
No,
fascist,
not at
he's
all. Not at all.
We're not
He's
under
defying.
we're not under a national socialist state. Come on, this ain't Nazi
Well, Trump is literally saying that we don't need materials anymore because of his price control tariffs, and we don't need to have money or wealth. And if you go to college, you should go back into the mines, and we need to do it for the greater good of the nation to abandon our jobs and our privileged lifestyle. He's talking like Mao, like a communist or Stalin. Like he is objectively talking like a communist right now, as well, on top of everything else. So. But the country's going to collapse. I mean, it's going to collapse Guaranteed. I'll put any money on this country suffering greatly. We're already our economy is shrinking already. We should have been growing by 3% GDP. We're shrinking by 1% GDP around there now. So it's pretty bad.
So you would be willing, like right now, on record, on tape, to say that the country will collapse, and if you're wrong, you'll admit it.
By collapse, I mean we're going to have a huge issue with global trade. We're going to lose a lot of wealth, probably stagflation, which means inflation and slow growth. Way worse than the inflation under Biden. I almost would guarantee we're going to have a recession caused directly by Trump. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but it's going to. We're already collapsing with influence globally. We're collapsing when it comes to our academia and our research in STEM and AI. They're fleeing the country because the Trump regime is so violent towards any like a student on a student visa. We're losing good immigration too, like workers that want to work here because they're afraid of ICE because ICE is just beating people up no matter what. Whether illegal or not. So it's just like we're losing on every front right now as a country, like globally.
So if all these things happen, you would definitely say that's a collapse. But if it didn't, you would admit it. Like let's just say
versus where we
4
should
years
be?
later, these things didn't happen.
What do you mean
No,
by
I'm
collapse?
saying like
Like
your definition of collapse, because you're the one saying, well, we're going to collapse, and I'm willing to bet whatever on it. So I just said, by your definition of all these things you just stated, if it doesn't happen, you would come out on record saying that it wasn't a collapse.
yeah, it's gonna be some combination of it. But even like RFK being anti-vaccine, the measles, it just it depends what your standards are. Like for me, collapse is gonna be like we should be thriving as a nation, leading us into the next century with innovative technologies that lead to a new era of human prosperity. But right now, our economy is slowing down, our manufacturing is slowing down, our researchers are leaving the country to go to Europe and China, and we're pushing countries like South Korea and Japan, which hate China, towards China, including Europe towards China. We're just giving China everything on a silver platter. So some combination of these things is going to happen because even if Trump, like, the thing is, people say, don't you want Trump to do a good job? It's like, I can't have an opinion because Trump is not doing things that could be good. Like the things he wants to do are bad things. So if he fails doing them, it's going to be bad. If he succeeds, it's probably going to be even worse. So like the tariffs, for example, like these are all going to be terrible things for the country.
So it's been basically a little over 100 days. Don't you want to give it just a little bit of time before you start flipping?
No, because so if you set massive price controls on every import at this level, it's gonna lead us to a recession. It's just gonna do it. We're gonna have probably material shortage, empty shelves for a little bit. But yeah, things are gonna get more pricey. It's like asking me if it's gonna work to, like, I don't know, strap yourself into your car with duct tape instead of a seatbelt. Like, well, let's just see what happens. It's like, no, I probably know a seatbelt's a better method or whatever. I don't know. It just, what he wants to do makes no logical sense at all. There's no reason to think what he is gonna, there's no reason to think what he's doing right now can possibly even have a chance of being positive. There's no reason to believe that.
Do you think that that's the intention? What if the intention was never to be positive? It was to force a positive by being negative.
I think Trump wants more power, and tariffs give the leader of the country more power to make decisions on who's going to be tariffed and exemptions and who can pay into his cryptocurrency to make him profit. So it all goes together to be more corrupt and power grabby. So yeah, I don't know. There is no negative action that would help us.
If let's just say, for example, right, all these countries that are being tariffed, and not let's say all of them, let's just say a majority of them are like, okay, America's clearly fucking everything up, but if they're fucking everything up, we're definitely going to be screwed. So how do we get unscrewed? All right, we'll just lower the tariffs on them and they'll lower it on us, and then we'll be cool. You don't think that's going to happen?
The other countries have already offered to lower their tariffs. So the UK did, Israel did, a bunch of other countries did, and the Trump admin still tariffed them. Like, there's no reason that we should be tariffing Cambodia. Cambodia and Vietnam are not screwing us over or whatever. So it's like screwing us on trade. Yeah, it just makes no sense. Tariffs, Trump said, it's for funding, for revenue, which I think is kind of dishonest when we say like we're tariffing certain countries, because we're tariffing Americans. We're tariffing American small businesses, which will not survive. Amazon and Walmart will be able to survive. They have enough cash on their books to keep things going, but small businesses are going to die off during this process. So maybe that's the intention too, because if small businesses die, big companies can buy up the small businesses, and then all the donors that Trump had front stage at his inauguration can profit and become even more powerful too. So
I personally believe that just give it some time. Let's see what happens. It's too soon to judge something like this. Because when it was Joe Biden, everybody and their mama was like, well, look, the economy's bad, but that's because he inherited Trump's economy. But when it's Trump here just for a few days, you guys are like, well, shit, we're gone. Like, just give it a second. If by the half of the term we're seeing that nothing's improved, then yeah, that's a worry. Let's just wait and see a little bit.
It's just a gap of knowledge between what we're doing right now, because I can't really tell you why. I could explain it, but I don't think you'll understand why this is like. It has no chance to succeed. The biggest success would be if Trump just stopped. If Trump stopped, it would be awesome. The markets would surge right back, but he's not giving any indication he's going to stop. So
when you're saying I wouldn't understand, are you accusing me of being retarded or what?
yeah, probably. You probably do have
honestly,
some issues.
No, I'm being honest. Come on.
No, I am being honest.
I could have a
You
conversation.
probably have enough I imagine you're probably gonna be. You seem very vibes and very emotions. Like, let's see how it plays out. Price controls are bad for communist countries, and tariffs at this level are essentially price controls for foreign goods. And when our economy is so integrated with foreign goods, there are surveys, for example, where you have 90% of small businesses getting imported goods of some kind. So if they have tight margins, they're screwed. If there's a 10% tariff on everything, 140% from China, then if you have like a survey, there's surveys right now of businesses and what they're going to do. And I think 60% of businesses are going to like freeze their funds and not do any investments, cut a bunch of trucking jobs, port jobs. It's all going to collapse. It's just too much to go into right now at this time of night. But we're having issues with air traffic controllers. We're having issues all over the place with our economy. It's going to come crashing down in some sense. But I don't know. Like if we talk about Biden's tariffs, so if Biden tariffed like semiconductors or certain chips from another country, he passed the policy, the Chips and Science Act, that was subsidized those industries in America. So like Biden did the tariffs the right way. Trump is doing them like I mean, even the worst liberal, libby-lib, Trump obsessed TDS people did not think Trump was going to go this crazy with the tariffs. Like I mean, anyone that you can even look at, they did not think he was going to be this stupid. I don't know.
I personally think that you're wrong, and I think that just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean that I can't understand you. At least you got to establish that, because that's just retarded now.
Well, you haven't shown any understanding of why you think it'll work. You have vibes, though. I mean, I respect the vibes. I respect emotional politics.
You haven't asked me to prove how it could work. I'm just responding to you. So you want me to tell you how tariffs could work? In my opinion, the way that I could see how reciprocal tariffs can work, because he implemented reciprocal tariffs, would be so that nations that have, let's say, for example, we get tariffed 20% and then we tariff them 5-6%. Instead of those numbers continuing, Trump, let's say he reciprocates it at 10%. I thought it would be 20 and 20 just to match it, but he does 10% because I think it was like 10% across the board, something softer. These nations obviously cannot handle being tariffed at 10% because they have to sell their goods here because what are we? The biggest consumer market, obviously, in the entire world. So what ends up happening to them is either they lower it or they raise the selling of their, let's say they're selling wholesale to American retailers over here. There's no way that they're going to be able to afford that. So eventually over time, they're going to have to cave in or they're going to have to struggle like we're going to struggle. But we could struggle a lot less than they're going to struggle. It's like you said, Walmart can handle it. We're Walmart. They're the small businesses. So I think that's what it's a matter of, just choking them until they submit to what is really going to be a tariff that would be more beneficial to us.
Okay, so the reciprocal tariffs Trump talked about were fake numbers. They were like not real at all. And the tariffs Trump put on countries originally was batshit crazy, even like triple bat. I don't even know how many batshits I can give that. But like we have a trade surplus with Australia, so we sell them more than they buy from us. Or we sell them more than we buy from them. I mean. Or we sell them more than they sell to us. Probably better way to say that. So we have a trade surplus with them. We still tariff them. We don't know why. They don't know why. We have a trade deal with them. Why are we doing that? Canada, Mexico. We have a trade deal with them that Trump himself made. Why are we tariffing them? We're tariffing coffee. We cannot make that in America. We cannot make coffee in America. Why are we tariffing them? And acting like we're gonna sell Ford trucks to Cambodia. They don't have enough money to buy Ford trucks there. There's a reason that like Vietnam and all these countries center their economy on producing things for us because they're poor countries. They cannot buy things from us. That's why we have a trade surplus or a trade deficit with those countries. Rich countries, prosperous countries, typically have trade deficits because they can consume more. They do more high level manufacturing. High level means we add more value at the very end of the production line. We do much more skilled labor with higher wages. Vietnam offered to lower tariffs to zero. Israel offered that. Australia, the UK, they all offered to lower tariffs to zero. Trump said no to all of them. Maybe he'll pretend he made a deal in the future. Maybe he's doing this for all memes. He's going to reverse it eventually. But the idea that the tariff barriers from other countries are the reason we're doing this is just not at all consistent with what Trump said. Like Trump has said this is for tax revenue and funding to eliminate income tax. He said it's for tax revenue to spur business in America, which is not happening. He said it was for national security purposes. He says for freaking a negotiating tactic. Then he said it's not for a negotiating tactic. Then he said it's because it's going to bring back jobs and manufacturing. Then he said it's not gonna. So it's like it seems like it's hard to really say what he means by it. And that's one reason, if you look at the markets, why everything's crashing, or it's going to crash even more, because the markets cannot make 10-year investments. Nothing Trump has said about tariffs. I don't mean to be mean earlier, but I'm just saying like it just does not make sense. And I'm I get sleepy at night. I get sleepy, and it's hard to go through these things over and over again. And it's just like I could hear you say things about, well, I think tariffs are going to work for this reason, but ultimately I don't know. I don't know what arguments I can even say against some of the arguments for the tariffs, because they're so off that if you read the policies and the outcomes and read the economic data, it just like does not make sense enough for me to even like
well, I was
for me to even respond to.
I was going to say, so let's just assume that these nations that are already removing their high percentage of tariffs, it actually follows through. So America's like, okay, you have your lower percent tariffs, we make a deal. Let's just say, because initially you're just going to be like, well, shit, it's not going to happen because Trump's a liar. But let's just assume you at least have to follow that. If it does happen, what's the negative of it? Like if we actually get the tariffs on these other nations tariffing us lower, is it a bad thing?
So the big negative is right now, like I said before, Japan and South Korea hate China. They're moving towards China. Japan is committing to China more than the U.S. Europe is removing trade barriers with China now because they cannot trust the U.S. anymore, especially because of the way America talks about Ukraine. Not even just like withdrawing support, but saying Ukraine is a dictatorship and being on Russia's side. Losing faith there. America threatening to invade Canada and Mexico and ruining trade deals we had with them. Attacking allies constantly and sucking up to like a country like Russia and El Salvador. We're losing faith. We're losing the faith of all these countries globally because of our crazy practices. And trade wars are real like acts of violence. Like we are making people lose businesses. We're making people probably die in some regions of the world. We're making economies collapse for pretty much no reason. And like it's like I said before, if you can even find somewhere that has a tariff on certain products, like India has high tariffs, but we cannot really sell to India because they protect their economy so much and they suffer from it. Their countries hurt from the tariffs they do. But all these we're tariffing every country globally in the world. There is zero reason to even think why that'd be a good idea at all. Because you're essentially, the goal with trade should be to isolate China. So we'd want to isolate China from other countries so countries move to working with us. But through the tariffs, we are putting like an embargo on ourselves. So we are isolating ourselves. We are doing China's job for them. And I don't know if like China is sending propaganda to Trump to make him help them or what. But we are helping China by pushing every other country globally to thinking China is a more trusted partner than the U.S. because we trade our more trusted partner than the U.S. because we change our policies every day. So it's not really a reliable place to work with at this point.
So what you're basically saying is even if it works, it's at the cost of the relationship.
Yeah, and like the trust, and then also once they ink these new deals with China, and also like Trump threatening to invade allies like Greenland and Canada and siding with Russia over Ukraine is like a huge thing for confidence of European countries as well, which I think is understandable. The fact they asked him even what is it, yesterday they asked him if he'd roll out military action against Greenland. He would not roll it out. He said we need Greenland. We might just hate Greenland, and that's just like. When you say things like that and when you do these trade policies, it's gonna push all the countries away. Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from.
I mean, one other
think
thing
it
really
has
quick
that
too.
possibility.
America's like you already said, like America's super powerful, super strong. We pretty much designed the way the world works. So acting like when Trump says the world is screwing us over, it's just kind of funny to those countries because we kind of screwed them over. Like we put them in sweatshops, right? But like we profit from them. We rule the entire world essentially, or at least we did for a while. And we're so powerful. We could simply call these countries and make demands if we had them. We did not need to start a trade war. We're not some like rogue nation like China that needs to manipulate currency and force people to do things in that way. We could just call them up. And Trump did this, by the way, with Canada and Mexico in the first term and also with Australia. Some trade deals were done during Trump's term. So I can only imagine like why he would not take that route. And we'll see the economic effects in the next few weeks. Maybe or months.
At
I'm not
least
sure
why?
what the timeline
Okay,
is, so.
at least why are we in so much debt then? Like honestly, I'm asking you, where do you think it came from? It's not a
Probably because
loaded question. I genuinely want to know your answer.
because we do spend a lot of money. We don't tax high enough for the top earners, and also when we talk about debt spending is okay if you look at GDP to debt ratio, and you can argue why you should have a lower debt, higher debt. But we had like the Great Recession, we had the COVID bailouts, and then for debt in general, we could easily fix our deficit if we tax the rich, even at the level Obama did. So like. That's interesting because it's like if you're a business, if you're Amazon ran huge deficits for much of its early start as a company. So sometimes you need to spend money to make money. I would argue we don't need to spend nearly as much money or borrow as much as we do right now. But yeah, we want to be able to have our cake and eat it too. So spend a lot of money and tax low. So it doesn't really work, I guess. That's probably why we're in a lot of debt. But I mean, other countries do hold some of our debt. I could look up what % of our debt we own. Let me see. And you can go. Whoopsies. Okay, so debt held by the public. National debt. 70% of our debt is domestic. So Social Security holds 2.7 trillion in treasuries. The Federal Reserve owns about 5 trillion in U.S. debt. China or Japan owns 1.1 trillion. China owns 860 billion. Are you here? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh yeah, and also the trade deficits don't have to do with our debt. Like Trump says over and over again that we are subsidizing Canada, for example. But all it means is that we buy more stuff than we sell to them. So Trump thinks it's an actual like deficit for debt. I don't know. Trump seems kind of toast at this point. Like Trump. Listening to him talk now, I actually think he's going. I know he has a history of Alzheimer's in the family, but he does sound genuinely terrible. And Biden sounded bad too, but I think Biden sounded like unhealthy, so like tired and not able to get words out with any strength. But Trump sounds genuinely like ultimately confused about basic fact. So it's a really weird place to be in as a country. After we had back-to-back senile presidents. We're awesome. Hell yeah.
Well, what you want to call it? I'll leave you to it, but I have one last question if you can answer it.
Sure thing.
Do you really believe that you could, and don't hang up the phone, man. You got to at least answer it. Do you think if there were 100 of you versus a gorilla, would you win?
I would have to be on some type of drug.
Because I don't any drug. You have no weapons. It's just you and one gorilla.
No, because once I see like the gorilla bite the first person's head off, I'd be running, dude. There's no way I could stay in the fight at that point, dude. Once he bites the first, dude, all it takes is one. I'm like, holy shit, I'm out of here. Hell no.
All right, well, I will leave you to it. You have a good night.
Now, if you're on some type of drug, you can do it. Yeah. All right. Thank you for the call, man. Have a good one. What a nice troll. Please drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Join Discord, guys. Join Discord. Thank you for helping me revitalize my channel. Subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Should I take another call? I don't know. We have 400 viewers. Oh, I feel weird if I don't take another call. Donate to Jolah Politics for more calls, guys. You can donate to Jolah Politics on PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, or donate to Coffee, the Coffee link. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching. What is up with the gorilla? Hey, Teresa, don't boss me around. Take the call. You think you own me? LOL, haha. Okay, if we get one. 1,500 voicemails are awesome, dude. Jeez. Oh, that guy wanted to talk earlier.
I fucking love Donald Trump, and if you think for a second that your little libtard ass can out argue me, you best believe you're wrong, boy. Now go ahead and suck your little liberal dick. All right, bye now.
Why are Trump supporters so weird, bro?
Call from. To accept, press.
Hello?
Hey,
What's up, buddy?
so do you think taxing the rich will really work?
So when we talk about taxing the rich, there's a balance to strike because you don't want to tax too much to hinder the economy, but you need to tax more, so you don't tax too little because you can also hurt the economy if you tax too little, and you have to go into like debt to fund government programs. So I think we need to tax them more than we tax them now, but I don't think we should tax them at like a super, socialist or communist level.
Okay, so would you agree that, generally freer markets are better?
So when I think about free markets, I don't think it's a free market to have a monopoly or to, buy up every company. I also don't think it's a free market if you're going to pollute the water supply. So the government should limit free market when it comes to polluting, hurting people, distorting or extorting people, being corrupt. The government has a role to play there, but I think, I don't know if free markets, the freer the markets, the better. I think there's a balance. So there's freedoms from government and freedom provided by government. So like, for example, a small business only has a chance to succeed if the government protects it from the big company from killing the small business and targeting it with unfair business practices. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there when it comes to overall freedom.
I mean, yeah, that's possible, but would you say that rich people that you're talking about are genuinely greedy and, not wanting to pay their fair share and all that?
Many are. I'd say the majority. Actually, it's hard to say what percentage are greedy. I'd say that if you make billions of dollars, you need to be greedy to some extent. No one makes that much money and is not greedy. But I also think greed, it does not need to be a super negative thing all the time. You could be a good person and be greedy, I think. So I don't think they're all evil.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say if you're going to tax someone higher, they're just going to move that tax onto the consumer. Because they're not going to take a hit to their income. They're just going to move the tax onto their consumers.
Well, that'd be like the free market principle where they still need to compete. When you talk about like prices for a business, you're talking about how much does it cost for me to get the materials for this item, how much is production, how much is labor, and what are my profit margins. When we talk about income tax, for example, income tax is after you make money, so you wouldn't really put that onto the per item, because when you're selling items, you want to sell at the exact price point where you can make the most money. Then taxes are later on. So like the taxes and that's after everything, and you could write off a bunch of expenses, and there's business taxes that you do through the business, and taxes that you have as assets if you sell them for capital gains, and there's a whole complicated system there. But for passing it on right to the consumer, that's why I like sales tax and tariffs pass it on to the consumer, because those taxes are added on to each transaction at the point of sale. So when you sell the item, you have a sales tax. When you buy an item to import it, once you import it, you have to pay the tariff. So the taxes function in a different way. There's a longer explanation, but
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're talking about tariffs, I mean, I don't think these tariffs are going to stick around necessarily long, just because they are so extreme, and that these tariffs have shown to be a bargaining tool, and that they've already opened up many avenues for trade and deals that favor the U.S. that previously were not accepted because of perceived advantages are now being opened up once again because we have threatened to do this. And I think the reason we haven't seen this strategy come out to the public from the start is because everyone would immediately call our bluff. So why I think this is all just a scheme to, get deals that favor us.
So if that were true, they wouldn't be doing tariffs. They would just call countries and say, "Hey, we want a better deal." We have built this world. So like Vietnam, for example, Vietnam has a lot of industries because we told companies to leave China and to go produce in Vietnam because we trust Vietnam more as a more favorable partner than China. So a country like that, there's zero reason we would punish Vietnam. We had Japan come here and Vietnam come here, the leaders of those countries, and they were flabbergasted. They were so confused because the White House had zero idea what they wanted. They could not even make an offer because the White House has zero idea what's going on. We are the most powerful country of all time. We have a huge military. We can tell countries what we want and get that done. Trump did it his first term too, without threatening tariffs. The idea we need to beat countries up and put them into and hurt their economies and hurt our own economy and tax the American people, it's nonsensical. And Trump is going around this week saying that we need to pay higher prices for goods and it's okay because we don't need goods anyway. And who cares about higher prices? And also, it's good because it'll help the country if we are all poorer, and also tariffs are going to help us eliminate income tax because it's going to raise revenue. He has everything that he could say about tariffs other than any facts about it. Like, it's just not, like, it sounds good in concept what you just said if you don't really look at any economic data or any data about our country and trade deals, but the only trade partner that's not honest is probably China, with their currency manipulation and other tactics. But I mean, our tariffs right now, we're already seeing, in the time that Trump said we could do 90 deals, we have 0 deals. But meanwhile, China has like dozens of deals. China's getting dozens of deals because the U.S. is making countries around the world hate us.
Well, yeah, but that's assuming the tariffs stick around.
It's already happening. That's a done deal. Like, countries cannot trust us if we're going to do this. Like, we're starting wars with them for no reason, threatening to invade allies as well. So, like, it's not about sticking around. Countries will not trust us anymore. We can't just play these games. This is real life. Like, we're killing people. We're killing businesses. We're killing economies. We're making countries collapse internally. Like, it's not all fun and games.
Really, you think countries have collapsed because of a tariff?
Okay, I gotta stop saying the word collapse because people think collapse. Okay, when I say collapse, I mean they're suffering internally and their economies are entering near recession levels. Because of our actions, because they tied themselves to America and we are letting them down. And now China seems more preferable as a trading partner than America does to many different countries.
But where are these recessions happening? What countries?
If you look at Cambodia's markets or Vietnam's markets, or if you look at Japan's markets as well, because Japan has a lot of money tied up with us. If you look at our bonds market and look at countries fleeing us, I don't have every single list of the countries, but the point is when you're starting trade wars are called wars because you're starting acts of war and aggression that can collapse economies, and you're saying it's a threat because it can hurt them. Okay, so the word collapse again, but still the same thing applies. We can see the trade deals, we can see countries moving assets in the direction of China and doing trade deals with China that they never would have done. They never would have done it without America letting every country down.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. Why would I go and trade with China if China is already tariffing me? Because China's already put tariffs on other nations. So why would I go trade with China if they're tariffing me just the way the U.S. is?
Because they're not. So like, Trump has an across-the-board tariff on every single good from every single country. No country's doing that other than like India, but China doesn't do that. They make deals. America is breaking deals right now to do this and to ruin and to hurt other countries. Like, China is much more stable, and like this is the thing too. Trump makes everyone think and believe things that are not real. So when Trump says these countries are very unfair, they're tariffing us, they're hurting us, like, they are not doing this to people. The fact that they are looking at China as a more preferable trading partner than America is very, very, very bad for the prospect of Trump leading this country, because it shows how weak his leadership is and how unstable it is. And even our best allies need to look away from us because we cannot be trusted. We're threatening to invade Canada and to take Canada and to invade Greenland also on top of all this. So it's just, and we're siding with Russia over Ukraine. We're like openly siding with those countries, and it's just like we're being bad. We're being bad boys.
But where have we sided with Russia over Ukraine?
Trump calling Zelensky a dictator and saying that Putin's not a dictator, and saying Putin wants peace but Ukraine doesn't, and saying Ukraine started the war, and blaming Ukraine for the war or the invasion, that they got invaded, blaming Ukraine for every single issue ever. Ukraine got striked on Palm Sunday, civilian areas, and calling Ukraine anti-Christian somehow. through many different cutting off intelligence from Ukraine arbitrarily, trying to pressure European countries from stopping supporting Ukraine. We Trump only blames Ukraine for not having peace, although Ukraine agreed to a ceasefire 2 months ago. Russia never agreed. Trump still to this day blames Ukraine for a lack of peace in the area, as Russia is invading them and slaughtering their people.
Yes, but where are you getting your information? Where is this coming from?
Look up the journalists that go there. I don't have every source in front of me at all times. You could Google.
You don't have any notes?
No, I read the news, I read the combat reports, and I know the information. I talk about this every night to like 20 people.
Okay, but like, what news source?
I don't know.
Like,
You could
just give
go
me a
on
name.
there's the Kiev Independent, there's the you could read BBC, you could read like, I don't know, whatever AP News, whatever global agencies are reporting on this as well, and any reporters on the ground. I know some streamers that are in Ukraine right now from America that are reporting from the ground as well, so.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, bye.
That was such an annoying call. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was one of the dumbest people I've ever spoken to. And I'll go through this long explanation of how things work. And they'll be like, but like, that's not true because I have feelings and I'm a little baby. And like, I don't think that is real, so I don't think it's real. Like, what a pathetic little rat. Like, for real. What a pathetic person. Holy crap. That conversation's so annoying. I love all people, but I don't love them. I really hate that person. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather you just be. I'd rather you call me mean names. That's so much more enraging. Holy shit. That's so much more enraging. So much more enraging than someone being. Yeah, that was just like a sassy. I know it was a kid. I know it was a kid. I know it was a kid. Still a little gremlin. Little freaking gremlin. Well, okay. Where do you hear from? I'm a little freaking gremlin. Please. Oh my god. No, that's why I was nice to them. That's why I was nice. I was nice for a reason. I was nice. I'm trying to educate the youth. Who knows? They never said anything. You know, I forget that I have 400 people watching. You forget that sometimes. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe. If you want to donate to Jolah Politics on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, nice to meet you. My nickname is Jolah. Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, Jolah Politics. Or you can donate on Coffee. Become a channel member for $3 a month. Do a super chat. Yeah, thank you for watching. Oh, okay. Bye. Whew. It actually is. It gets interesting repeating the same things every single night. It gets exhausting, but it's also like when people are watching, it makes it easier. But I'm sure you guys get sick of me saying the same thing about Ukraine over and over and over again. You have to get sick of this. You have to get sick of it, right? You need after I talk to 50 different people, you need to get sick of it. I imagine. Okay, phone lines are open again. Please drop a like for the algorithm, guys. Algorithm, drop a like. What is this one?
Press 1 to send.
Hello?
Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, good. I just happened to be turning on my phone and I seen your live stream and it said to debate you about diversity. Is that true?
That is one thing we can talk about. Pretty much anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to phone just to say that diversity is actually the worst thing that's ever come to Canada. I'm not sure about the States, but in Canada, it's been the worst thing we've ever had.
I know that's not true at all, but I mean, you probably have some cultural issues for why you're saying that, but
No, not at all. The problem with diversity is it's not actually diverse. The different cultures, what they do is, right, they'll stay within their own cultures. They don't actually assimilate into the North American way of life, and they become their own cultures. So what happens is their own cultures will only buy from their own cultures and so forth, and it's not actually, integrated like a beautiful melting pot like the politicians will tell you. It's actually a whole bunch of different cultures within one that stick to themselves.
Well, the issue is that
That's
like
the
white
reality.
people that live somewhere aren't going to go and diversify themselves either. So if there's like a white
No, it's not true at
neighborhood,
all. No,
there's
it's
going to
not
be
true
like
at
a
all.
Chinatown in areas. There's going to be like a little Italy in some towns or cities in America. But like diversity in general has benefited Canada greatly with culture and also for GDP, and being able to being able to pay for basic programs. Immigrants have helped
That's
out
not true
greatly
at all.
with Canada. And that's 100% true. Canada's economy,
No.
I'm pretty sure the labor participation has grown largely because of solely immigrants, and GDP growth as well.
That's not true at all. Actually, the diversity that you talk about has brought down salaries in trucking, in trades, in almost every sector because they're basically will do the lowest job. And the fact is, when we go to other countries, we assimilate into their cultures. We don't keep our own cultures. We assimilate, right?
I'm sorry, but
So
when
the
it comes to
prob-
wages, monopolies are the big issue with truckers. Okay, people that blame immigrants for truck wages don't look at the actual data because immigrants don't make that much less than truck drivers that are naturally born citizens in
that's because
Canada
the truck
or
drivers
America.
have to accept. No, that's because the truck drivers now
Monopolies
have
are
to
the
accept
issue.
the new
Monopolies and contracted work are the issue with truck drivers. It's the lack of organization. It's a lack of labor rights for truck drivers, and monopolies abusing truck drivers. And it's not immigrants because there's trucker shortages all over the place. That would keep that have upward price pressure on the wages.
And why is there a trucker shortage? Why is that? The reason is because the wages are so low. And why are the wages so low? Because you had a mass immigration of Indians.
No, it's
that all
because of the
became truckers.
monopolization. No economic data backs this up because I researched this the other night. It's the monopolization
really? Just
and
the
contracted
other
work from
night?
companies. Yes, it's contracted work from companies because there's only like 2 trucking companies in all of North America, so they can have really low prices and not have any competition. Yes,
And
or
why
low
can
wages.
they have low prices? Why can they have low
Because
prices?
they're monopolies. It's not because of the immigrants. Immigrants still get paid a lot to be truckers.
And why? And why? Because you have an influx of massive amount of
It
truckers.
is because of
from different
monopolization.
countries
Because if there's a
that have
shortage,
lowered the
if there is
standard
a
of pay.
shortage, it would not affect wages in the way you're claiming. A shortage would mean there's still upward pressure on the wages. It's a
No.
monopolization.
You don't understand. You don't understand. You do not understand business. Because if you have company A that is going to say, okay, you know what? We can do the same job for 30% less. Who's going to get the contract? It's the immigrant that comes in and says, you know what? We'll have 4
There
guys
is a
inside our
shortage,
cab.
you dense mother trucker. I said trucker, get it? There is a shortage,
Yeah.
meaning that immigrants can only undercut wages if there's no demand for wages
No,
anymore.
that's
or
not
there's no demand
true.
for work.
No, of course not. If you have 100 workers and then you have 50 workers come from another country that will work for 30% less, you know what happens? Those 100 workers just lost their jobs because the people that just came in that will work for less will take
Okay,
those
let
jobs.
me explain
Then
this
what
to
happened-
you. Okay, you literally are one of the dumbest people ever, and you're so confident about it, just
Wow.
like all white men. White men are evil for this reason.
You are so
Okay,
racist because I have
shut.
an
Yeah, I
opinion
am
of
racist.
white-
I am racist. Okay, I don't care.
You are
Okay, so
racist.
right
You
now,
never hear a
okay,
black
here
dude-
is the point. Okay, I don't care. Listen, I'm not talking about DEI tonight. Okay, so when we talk about truckers' wages, if there is a huge shortage, okay, the demand will not change if you introduce immigrants into that labor pool. Okay, the
What created
monopolization.
the shortage, you dumbass? What created the shortage? Think back. You can't. You have to look backwards. What created the shortage? The shortage is because the people that lived here all their lives are not going to work for 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, right? Of course, now there's a shortage. It's the same in the trades. If you have people come in and they're working for way less than they should be, well, of course, you can't make a living off that unless
What
you've got
you are
15
saying
people in a
is
house.
not economically correct. If you don't blame monopolies for this, you are a cuck. You are a cuck to white nationalist propaganda because the issue is
How come
monopolization.
everything
Here
for
is-
you goes to white nationalists?
Because
Why
that's
is
why you're
that?
stupid, because you believe they're dumbass lies. Okay, I have a study from
You are
Economic
so
Policy Institute.
shallow.
Okay, you are shallow because you're stupid. Okay, you're
No,
a
no,
really
no.
stupid person.
You,
Shut up.
You, my
You're
friend.
stupid.
No. You, my friend, are the most shallow person because you think everything is race.
No, I don't.
You're
No, I don't.
pathetic.
No,
I
no,
haven't
no,
brought
no,
up
no,
race
no, no,
at
no,
all.
no. You think everything's immigration, buddy, because you're stupid.
No. I'm giving you. I am giving you facts.
Oh,
You
wow.
are such a pussy.
Oh, let me look at this actual study. Wow.
sit
So,
down
okay,
when
so
you
when
go
we look at
pee?
actual studies, okay, so we talk about the Canadian unemployment rate for truckers, for example, and we look at the growth points for the labor market, and we look at demand. We look at when the wages did not keep up anymore, for example, when the trucker wages did not grow anymore. It's not because it never coincides with immigration waves. It never coincides with immigration waves. It coincides with over-monopolization and deregulation so companies can abuse the workers, can abuse the truckers. That is the correlative factor. It is monopolization and deregulation.
So
That's when
you blame it all on the corporations.
I have data for it. You just have stories because you're emotional.
Okay,
I have actual
you
data
blame
for
it on the
believing this.
corporations, the same corporations that are hiring people for a cheaper wage.
You don't. You are a stupid person. You are a dumb person. You do not understand any of this.
You know I'm right.
No, you know I'm right because I have
Diversity
actual
does not
facts to
work,
back
my
it up.
friend.
I have actual studies to back this
Diversity
shit
does
up.
not work. What they do is they tell you we
And
need
that has
diversity.
nothing to do with
because-
diversity. That's a labor market anyway. And the fact you think it's
No, I
diversity
know
shows
that,
that you
but
bring race into
I wanna
everything.
stick to
Yeah,
your
because you
point.
think race
I
is
wanna
everything.
Stick to your point. No, I want to stick to your point that you've got on your screen here. Diversity doesn't work. Well, or diversity is beautiful, but it's not. Okay, it's not. You go down to
diversity
inside
is awesome.
different parts of the. Pardon me?
Keep going. I want you to say something racist.
You go
Keep
to
going.
different parts of the city. You go to different parts of the city where you see
okay.
diversity is awesome. And you see, how,
you just
see
don't
how
like
it's a melting
you just don't
pot.
like the
It's not.
colored folk. Yeah, there you
No,
go. There you are. There
You're-
you are.
you
Come
know
on,
what?
buddy.
I'm
Tell me
married to a
more. Tell me
colored
more
person,
about.
so
What
you're
do you think about the
stupid.
globalists? Tell me more about how you think. Oh yeah. Tell me more. Do you think the Jewish people dominate
you were
finances?
Ignorant. You were so ignorant to call me racist.
I'm ignorant
You know
because
nothing about
no,
me.
keep talking about diversity, please. I want to know more about why you think truckers are having their wages being brought down by freaking immigrants and not monopolization. Tell me why.
Well, I'll tell you why. I already did, but if you don't understand, I'll explain it to you again.
I told you why that was not
If
true,
you
sir.
have
I
people
told you
that
why that was not
influx
true.
the market, if you have people that come into the market, right, and
You
flood
have there's
the
data we
job,
can look at for this, you idiot. There's data we can look at for this, you idiot.
You
are
are
very
so-
dumb.
you're
You are
so
so dumb.
naive.
Because
But
there's
I
a
know
reason
this
when
is
you
your
see like a
stick.
big
This is
wave
your
of
stick.
monopolization affecting
This is
wages,
your
and you see
stick. I love
immigrants
it.
go up and the wages do not change. Because when the immigrant wave came, the wages did not go down or stagnate. They stagnated before the immigrant wave came. The recent immigration wave is stagnated before that because of the monopolies. The monopolies are the issue.
The
There's no
immigration
competition
wave
in
for
the market.
truckers didn't come when your so-called southern border opened. We've had the immigration of
The southern border
of
never opened
truckers for
either.
years. We've had immigration of truckers
There's been
for years.
shortages as well. There's been shortages, but when it actually changed,
There's
is
been
when
there's
they
been
had
uptick in-
monopolization.
There's been
Whenever the
uptick in
companies buy all the small
18-wheeler
companies and there's no competition, you have to understand the free market. There's no competition. The wages are going to suck. The wages are going to suck if there's no competition.
Well, if people can't make a living, there's not going to be a competition unless you have 3 people inside a truck driving it nonstop, putting a hole in the bottom of the truck so they can take a shit while they're driving. That's reality, right? That's reality. Okay, I know somebody who works on these trucks, and just before he retired, he quit because he says, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this. That's reality. Okay, you can't compete with 3 Indian guys in a truck driving across country. You can't. Not if you've got a house and a wife.
I'm sorry they're better workers than you. I don't know what to say.
They're better workers than you. Yeah, because you can abuse them because you can pay them less.
No,
You're the
no,
racist.
because they get paid a lot of
you're
money
the fucking
actually for trucking.
You're the racist.
Oh, stop calling me
You
racist
are
because
the
I cite
racist.
economic data, you dumbass.
No. You
oh,
are
I'm
the
racist. Oh, you woke liberals.
are.
Oh, you're
You
racist.
are.
You're
It's hilarious.
racist. You're
And
racist.
people
You're
don't buy your
racist.
liberal crap
Racism.
anymore.
Racism. It's racism because you understand
Yeah.
how monopolies work. Oh, racism. It's racism, guys, because
You're
monopolies
hilarious,
are
buddy.
real. Ooh, wow,
Yeah, of
look at
course
this.
monopolies are
Antitrust
real.
laws for truck drivers were taken apart. Ooh, okay, so so that's interesting. When there's do you know what antitrust means?
I'm not a lawyer.
So antitrust is like that's monopoly busting. So if you want to have antitrust laws, you want to bust monopolies. So when there's less laws that can take apart monopolies, that means, we can see when we take away laws that prevent monopolies and over consolidation of big businesses, when we take away those laws and allow businesses to become more corrupt, when we deregulate that, then we see the trucker wages stagnate because the big companies can all join together and there's no longer competing forces. They can set a price floor or a wage ceiling across all their long haulers or whatever, and then it's just going to stay at that wage because they have full control of the market. We can see how many companies are in Canada operating trucks right now.
And that's good?
Monopolies are bad, but if you blame immigrants over monopolies, you're a cuck. It's just how it is.
No. If the problem is before, the only difference there's one constant, right? You had truck driving jobs were the constant, okay? You had the truckers, okay, that were always the same, the constant. The only thing that changed was the influx of immigrants. And what happened?
You
Wages
just don't
dropped.
pay attention to anything else because you don't want to research anything except because you don't like other cultures. You just don't like other cultures. You don't like diversity.
You're hilarious. You're hilarious. You
Yeah,
have
because
no idea.
your reason for not liking diversity is when you walk
Just
around the cities and
because
see
I
groups you
don't
don't
like
like. Any,
immigrants-
I really think that you're. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna blame the immigrants for everything. I'm gonna blame the immigrants for everything. The immigrants did it. The immigrants did it. The immigrants did it. The immigrants did it. For trucking is actually one of the few industries where immigrants actually make a very similar wage to citizens. Like immigrants, especially on green cards, make up like pretty much the same that citizen drivers do. Maybe like 5,000 less a year, 10,000 less a year, but it's not like a huge discrepancy like people would think. Sometimes immigrants are here because we have shortages and they work really hard, and it's just like, you know, I think we probably want that to be in America or Canada, you know? You would think. Hello?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yep, hello.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I saw on your show, I just came across it on YouTube. It seems like you're debating people who voted for Trump. Is that the general theme?
Yeah, having conversations.
I got you. So are you more liberal, or what's your perspective?
I'm definitely more, I'm very pro, like, working class policies, anti-corruption policies. I want a better healthcare system.
Okay.
And I want to invest in our communities and tax the wealthy more to do it, and lower working class and middle class taxes as well. So I'm along that side of politics. I'm also very pro-Ukraine. I'm pro NATO, and
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So you're definitely more of a, you say, a populist on economics. What about social issues? What do you mean?
I am like populism. I don't love the word populism because I think populism is replacing critical thought with emotion, which I do think is needed sometime in politics, but you need to be able to rein it in. So I'd consider myself someone who's more liberal, progressive, who uses populist rhetoric to make sure people get the point of what I'm trying to push for. But when it comes to social issues, I'm very anti-death penalty. I'm very pro marriage equality. I'm very pro trans people being able to exist and seek healthcare. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So are you, when it comes to Trump, are you someone who approaches it fair in the sense of like, if he does something good, you give him credit, or is it just full on like TDS at this point?
So for his first term, you could talk about the First Step Act, some pardons maybe. You could talk about trade deals, Canada, Mexico, and his second term, he's done literally nothing but bad things. And I have really defined reasons and policy reasons for hating everything he does right now. I don't think he's done one good thing his second term. I mean, he said, like, I could agree with, like, getting the chemicals out of the food, for example, like the dyes.
Right.
But I don't think they're actually going to do that. He signed an executive order. But to do that, we would need Congress to pass a law like the EU does, because the EU, they don't have that shit there, but they regulate it. It takes a lot more regulation, and Trump got donations from these companies that do it, so I don't think he's actually going to do that. But I agree in principle with, like, you know, in concept, I agree with something like that.
Okay. Now, what when it comes to the tariffs, for example, I'm obviously I can assume you're against the execution, but the general thought or sentiment of what he's trying to accomplish with that, do you agree with that, or you just agree against the whole thing as a whole? Like,
I can agree with wanting to bring back some type of manufacturing to America. We can decide on different industries, which is why I like the Biden Chips and Science Act and the minor tariffs Biden did. But and I would agree with like the general sentiment for some things that people think the tariffs are for, but in practice, the tariffs are definitely the worst economic policy I've ever seen in my entire, like, in any time I've ever seen in American history, probably.
and then why is it that other developed nations use them?
So if you want to say they use them, so we could pick a country and see, maybe they put like 10%, like Australia puts a 10% tariff on our beef or whatever, a percentage tariff on our beef because we use certain chemicals they don't want in their food supply. Mexico does the same with our corn because we have like some type of modification or some type of corn species they don't want there to get into their corn supply. So there could be tariffs for certain reasons. But the tariffs Trump is doing across the board, 10% for every country globally, and then like 200% for China. No country that is successful that we want to replicate is doing that anywhere. So like India might do it a little bit, but we don't want to be India. And you know, if we're going to increase manufacturing, we could do it a lot more effective ways that would not kill America on the global stage.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand because for the longest, when it came to tariffs and like trade policy, protectionist trade policy in general, it's almost always been a left-wing issue for as long as I can remember. I mean, Republicans and conservatives have always been for free trade. It's just until like 5 minutes ago that they switched up, right? So were you, in your stance on trade, were you always been for free trade? Is this something that you just changed recently, or what's your like evolution on that?
I would support free trade that isolates countries like China better, which Obama tried doing with the TPP. Trump took that away. So I think I am definitely in favor of free trade with more limits, I guess, and more subsidies for certain manufacturing in America on like chips and semiconductors, which is why I really like what Biden did on that again. And we should probably do that more. But yeah, I think we can adjust it. But being anti-free trade, like in total, would make us a poor country. It would collapse America as a world superpower.
Now you do notice, though, and this is an observation, that Democrats and the left have been in support of tariffs and protectionist trade policy for the longest, right? That's always been a left-wing position, and it just seems recently, just almost out of reaction to Trump, they've all of a sudden flipped and pretended like they're for free trade all of a sudden. You do notice that.
So actually, the person that began free trade was probably Jimmy Carter, and neoliberalism, which is like global free trade and freedom of movement and freedom of commerce. So Jimmy Carter started that. Reagan continued it. Bill Clinton was extremely in favor of it. I mean, Bill Clinton gets credit for NAFTA and everything. So Democrats have always been for free trade. The only people that have been anti-free trade are the Bernie Sanders progressive union. Like the unions are against free trade. They want tariffs and stuff. So the Democrats have always been. I mean, Democrats and Republicans have been together on this, largely.
No, not always. Have you seen Nancy Pelosi's presentation of Congress back in, I believe, the 95 or 96 session? You can find the clip if you want to check it out.
Oh, there were some protests against China, like integrating China fully, but that's not being anti-free trade. That's being anti like China involved. I'm pretty sure, if that's what you're talking about.
If you see, she had a whole huge poster that she brought in. Her whole issue was the trade deficit with China, and that the tariffs that they had against us. At that time, we had about, I think it was like $14 billion trade deficit. You could check this out. You can make sure I'm right on that. But the point was they had 35% tariffs on us. We had 2% tariffs on them. This is like 95, 96. And she did a whole presentation talking about how unfair this is, how we need to do reciprocal tariffs on China. We need to do something about this trade deficit. We need to do a different approach to try to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. She did a whole presentation on this. And so, to me, it's just Democrats are just in the moment taking a position just to oppose Trump. Not on any principle, but just simply out of reaction.
No, but there's ideological diversity within the parties, though. I mean, it's not like Republicans right now that are like lining up to suck Donald Trump's balls from the back, So like Democrats have always had different opinions. Republicans usually are more like single-minded sheep, more so. So like right now, it's not very inconsistent. And by the way, some Thomas Sowell or Milton Friedman or even today. A modern like conservative economist, even like a Ben Shapiro, a commentator, like they're all against tariffs. Like in general, like whether you're conservative, I know Marxist and communist economists that are against these tariffs because like you could have tariffs and have it be a good idea, but Trump's tariffs right now, even if you're pro-tariff, are destroying the reputation of tariffs because they're so batshit insane and stupid. If you watch the show Breaking Points. With Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty, I think his name is. But Sagar is a right winger, and he's embarrassed because these Trump tariffs are so nonsensical and stupid. So even Republicans are afraid to even say they're in favor of these tariffs. Like even the biggest Trumpers I know are afraid to say they're pro tariffs. Or not pro tariffs, but pro these tariffs. Tariffs. I mean,
right, but they're against. I mean, because for the longest they've always been for free trade, so they've never been comfortable with this because this is Trump's. This is the thing about Trump. Trump is trying to bring what you could consider, you may disagree with this, but it's almost like economic populism while bringing in socially conservative values. And so, to me, if you just look at the American population, that's what America wants. And it's like, if the left wing, in my opinion, was serious about really representing the working class, changes that are necessary, which I think both of us agree on, you can't have that tied to wokeism and all this social stuff on the side. Because to me, that's where the game is being played. I think the people that finance the left push those things, knowing full well that by doing that, it'll divide the working class. Because the majority of the working class is a lot of
The
them are
right wingers
religious,
divide the working class. Just because you're a pathetic little baby pussy ass bitch that can't talk about gay people without crying doesn't mean the Democrats are causing it. You're doing it being a pathetic little bitch, baby. Like, go to bed, dude. All right, someone else call in. Call line's open. I'm good. America the beautiful. Please drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for the donations. I just saw a couple donations on. Let me see. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joe. Joe, $5. Thank you so much for those damn Indian truckers. I mean, that guy was so mad about the Indian truckers ruining his life apparently, but not the corporations. Never the corporations. Rita for $5. Thank you so much for your getting to the Trump gang and they hate it. I don't know, man. I don't know what they think right now. I don't know if they have the ability to think. Kind of crazy, brother. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Oh yeah. I love tariffs and they are working. I'm getting a headache listening to Jolah, so I'm out of here. God bless the Republic of the United States of America and President Donald Trump. Flag, 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 flag. They're bots, dude. There's no way a real person's saying that. They're from India. They're Indian bot accounts. Hey, Vandred. I'm allowed to be spicy sometimes. Let me see here. Hey, run for your life. Hey. No calls right now. Wow.
I guess it's good.
Welcome back, Jolah.
What?
How are the calls, my guy?
I'm on live still. DJ, I tried getting that person in here. I apologize. I saw your thing, your chat. Thank you for the two. Thank you for the two thingies. He said he'll join sometime. He said not tonight though, but I tried my hardest.
That asshole deserves to learn.
Which one was that again?
How we doing today, chat?
Oh, the first guy. Yeah. How we doing, chat? Joke is on. I never brought Joke on a stream that has 400 people watching.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's kind of.
You might want to just talk to him right now. No, actually, yeah, let's have a Jolah Joke conversation.
Oh,
right
I'm getting a call. Too late. I'm getting a call. Too late.
Let's go for it. Let's do it.
I'll be back. Hello.
Call from.
Whoa. Oh, they hung up. Okay. DJ's here? Oh, you said hi DJ in the chat. Oh, because you heard DJ. Yeah. A snowflake, nobody with no substance. Gotta love it. Hi DJ. 9. Jolah is triggered. A snowflake. See? They're all racist in chat, dude. What the hell's going on? Hello?
Hey man, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
Doing good. Just want to ask you one thing. Who wins? One gorilla or 100 men?
It depends. Oh, I was gonna answer him. Okay. I'm not responding. It depends who has the shotgun. 100 men? Yeah. Gorillas are kind of overrated, to be honest. Do you see that? There's an election denier in like Arizona or Nevada that was sent to jail unanimously because she tried interfering with the election. And Trump said the DOJ is going to free her. That's cool. From a state prison. Okay.
Call from
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Howdy.
Hey, I'm wondering if you'd rather have dick-sized nipples or a nipple-sized dick. Hello.
Hey, that make a funny noise when you're running though. If you had him up top, you know. You slapping on your chest, you know. Good question. That's crazy. Stop the name calling. Have an intelligent conversation. Shut up. Stick with the facts. Shows incredible weakness. Shut up. Go cry to someone else. Stick to the facts, buddy. Maybe I don't want to explain a 20-paragraph essay when you have zero information about the world. It's actually painful talking to you idiots. Holy crap. Bro wasn't ready for an answer. TDS, idiot. Guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Drop a like. We're at 134 likes. 134. We should be at 150. We should be at 150 likes. I'll do another caller if we get to 150. We're at 134. If we get to 150, I'll do another caller. Hello.
You pussy.
I know. Yeah. What?
Michael.
What?
Hello?
Hello?
Are you the guy on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching your show yesterday. Really enjoyed it. And I subscribed. Well, I'm not, I just normally subscribe and like. I like your talking points. I hope that I'm speaking slow enough that you can understand me. I'm Jamaican and I have a heavy accent. My apologies for my accent. But what I've come to the realization since living here in America for the last couple of years is that most of you guys think that America revolves around the sun. They don't understand what is happening worldwide, and the phenomenon that is happening now has happened in other countries. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I think Americans don't realize. I feel like Americans they think they can do, or we think we can do anything we want to anyone without having any repercussions, and the whole world is just gonna bend to our whims, whatever we want them to do. And there's other stuff going on.
Right. When I realized that even in conversation, it's like they would tell you about the Constitution, and I said the Constitution applies in America. It don't apply in China, it don't apply in Japan. And not because something can be done here, it means that other people accept it. I would say to them to listen, I am 50, and I've lived in a country where I saw tariffs. When I was growing up in Jamaica, we had heavy tariffs, and it made everything expensive. If you wanted to import a car, you had to pay duty of up to almost 200%. So as a result of that, most people couldn't afford a car. And when I see introduction of tariffs, and I have friends, I'm black, and I have friends here who are black, and they're saying tariffs are a good thing. Trump is right. And they say, you don't understand world history. Tariffs have never worked except to suppress the population that it is placed on. It makes things more expensive.
That's a really good point. No, that's a really good point about because I often bring up North Korea, because North Korea has some of the highest tariffs you can possibly imagine, and it usually is used as a form of control over the people. Even if it hurts the country, the leaders are willing to hurt the country if it means they get more power themselves.
Right. It is used to suppress people. And then stupid people agree with it. And I'm looking at it now and I say, what people should be fighting for is not tariff, because the manufacturing jobs that we want back is not the same manufacturing jobs they were 50 years ago. 50 years ago, the average car plant had 2,000 people working there, 3,000, 5,000 people working there. If you go to China now, most of the factories that do these high-paying jobs are dark factories. Meaning they don't really have people there. It's just robots and machines.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not coming. These manufacturing jobs are not coming back with a lot of jobs, with a lot of workers. The manufacturing jobs that carry workers are low-paying one. The apparel, the shoes. But the iPhone factory or the Huawei phone factory don't have anybody working in there. It's robots doing everything. The car factory, it's robots doing everything, putting the cars together. You have 1 or 2 people on the line to make sure the robots don't make any mistake or to assist the robots. But those thousands of people jobs not coming back.
Yeah. They also it is really interesting how they talk about it too, because Americans will say that other countries have ruined America. Other countries have been taking advantage of America, when if you know anything about the world at all, America has taken advantage of all these countries like more than ever than they could ever do in return. The idea that America has suffered while at the same time being the richest country of all time, it's just this victim. It's not even a victim mentality. I feel like the leaders are just lying to the people to do bad policies so they get more power, and so they don't have to give up their own wealth. The same reason they turn everyone against immigrants instead of talking about how much money the ultra powerful leaders have, so they can get more power, more control, and divide the people.
No, but all right. I'll give an example. In Jamaica, we used to produce bananas, and we used to export these bananas to the United Kingdom or Great Britain. Along with Jamaica, and several African countries who used to do it. And the Chiquita banana that is produced in Colombia is owned by Americans. And they went to their representatives, who took these poorer countries to the WTO, World Trade Organization. And that, as a result, preferential treatment was taken away from those countries in order for Chiquita to flood the markets of the world. Globalization was not a Chinese invention. Globalization was an American invention.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're losing the game, you want to change the rules. And everybody in the world said, no, these are the rules that you set up. You can't change them now because you're losing. When we were losing, when African countries were losing, when the Chinese were losing, when the Taiwanese were losing, they had to play the game to the end. So because they got better now, right? When it was Michael Jordan was the #1 player in the NBA, nobody had a problem with it. Now it's Luka Doncic and that dude from the Nuggets. What's the dude's name from the Nuggets? The one from the center. He's the best player in the league now. When it was Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, an American, was the best player in the league. Oh, the NBA was great that time. Now the NBA is not great because the international players are now better than the American players. That's how the game works. You want to change the rules because you're no longer in the driver's seat? It doesn't work like that. It's called competition. Your job is to get better. Just like how everybody has got better.
And America never had to lose. America could have easily stayed in front, but right now America is almost America is very insecure. They act like a very insecure person who lashes out and just punches a hole in the wall to act tough instead of like planning and training and making sure they get better. Like they just want to fight people instead of being better at the game. And America right now is giving up completely. China right now is getting a huge gift from America backing down, and America is trying to help Russia get involved in international trade again, and America is fighting our allies in Europe and Canada and Mexico and all these countries that have helped America, and all these we're abandoning countries we abandoned so many countries that have helped us, including in like our military operations. We run out of like Africa and Somalia even. Like we just abandon countries left and right. We abandon Ukraine. We abandon all these countries, and we break deals. We break treaties. There's no reason to trust America more than China right now. I mean, maybe minor reasons, but not really right now. With this government that really knows. So America is throwing away. America is throwing away all of its power and the leadership position that it's been in. It's kind of crazy.
No, it's for greed. The other day I was speaking to a friend of mine, and I was saying that, do you believe that Elon Musk is richer than Henry Ford was at his richest? If you adjust for inflation, Elon Musk is almost 20 times richer than Henry Ford ever was. But Henry Ford had factories all over the world. He had infrastructure. He had more infrastructure than Elon Musk. And you said, why couldn't Henry Ford be as rich? And you realize that he was paying a living wage. Billionaires in America don't pay a living wage anymore. That's why people are crying over these manufacturing jobs. America now is richer than it was when all of these manufacturing jobs were. The stock market is more valuable now than when 1980s, 1990s, when all the manufacturing jobs were here. But it's that everybody has a vault like Scrooge McDuck, where they're hoarding all of this cash and it's not being shared. And that's the problem. If the wealth was being decimated or spread out as it should have been, there wouldn't be a situation with China. China producing bullshit in Africa, America. Yeah, it's in Africa, America. But the billionaires don't want to pay their share.
Mm-hmm.
Tariffs affect poor people. Like, but even sales tax. I remember when sales tax was introduced in Jamaica, and the conversation was that sales tax is a bad tax because poor people spend all their salary. So they're being disproportionately taxed. If I only make $100, and to survive for the week, I have to spend all of my $100, and 10% of that is tax. I'm paying more tax in proportion to the rich person, because the rich person not spending all of their salary. They're only spending a proportion of their salary, so they're not the tax. They're not paying the tax and sales tax.
Yeah, well, the issue is that they can easily buy media companies, and if they control all information, the working, not even working, but just the average person in general is not going to do research for themselves. They'll just believe whatever the emotional thing is and everything like that. But yeah, I really appreciate you sharing and providing some. I mean, obviously, if you hear my conversations with Trump voters, they don't talk at all about the world or global politics because they don't really have that information. And that's not even being mean. They just come in and talk about things they don't know about, which they should stop doing. But I appreciate you sharing.
Well, respect. Yeah. I like your show. I like the argument. I like the conversation we have. So, and keep the light on. Keep the light on. Because you're acting as a beacon. Because these people are lost. And they got brainwashed so easy. That's my problem. Somebody brainwash you that easily. But continue keeping the lights on. All right, later.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Goodbye. Have a great night. I'll tell you what, I'm getting some good clips tonight. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I have to get like a compilation of my Glazers. Good night, Cam. Good night, Cam. Have a good one, Cam. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Suri. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Jordan, Kate, everyone. A tag word for your name. I usually do this at the end of the stream, so I'm done now, I think. Thank you for everyone who donated to Coffee, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I just saw crap. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired. Thank you so much. God Emperor, thank you so much, man. Thank you. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Cole Bean, $5. Tell Michael Cole Bean he says he's the GOAT. Oh, I didn't tell Michael. Which one was Michael? I forget. Jordan for 5 gifted. I don't know if I said that earlier. Thank you guys so much. I apologize when I don't see those. I'm done for tonight. I gotta go to bed. I have to do some travel this week. Like I said before, it does suck that I need to. I'm gonna need to be traveling soon, from Wednesday. So tomorrow is my final stream until Sunday, basically, and it sucks because I mean, it's good to take time off, I guess. But my channel has been doing good again, thanks to you guys. It's been growing again, so we're definitely grateful for that. Yeah, we're back on the up a little bit, but thanks for watching. Keep it up. It's tiring. Thank you. $2. Thank you so much for $2. Thank you. Thank you for $2, TG. One question. Who's new to the stream? Is anyone here new? Is anyone here a new viewer by chance? Who's all new to the channel? I like asking before I get off. I don't know if anyone's new here. Just say new if you're new. I hope there's some. Yeah, Vandred. Thanks, Vandred. I'm just gonna lie. Vandred. See, I can't trust anyone now because Vandred said he's new, so I know they're not new. Charlie. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 149. We need one more like to get 150. One more like for 150, guys. New. Old. Old. LOL. Ish. Nice. Me, I enjoyed your show. Thank you. New and not coming back. Thank you, Loner Stoner. You know what? With a name like Loner Stoner, you're the type of dude that would post new and not coming back. You're the exact type of dude that would do that lonely ass shit. Bro, you gotta fix yourself, homie. Very old. Why is diversity so awesome? Your mom. Okay, guys. Have a great night. I appreciate all the watchers. I'll be new. Every night. Okay, but like I said, guys, tomorrow is my final stream. Or, wait, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday night is my final stream. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm off, and then I'll be back on Sunday. I have a wedding to go to because I'm an adult now. But nice callers. Yes, thank you callers as well. Yep. Almost every live? Hell yeah. Thank you. I was serious, but now thank you, Lori. 150. We're at 151. Hell yeah. 151. Then we get DJ. Then you get DJ. If you want to listen to DJ, I could keep the stream on for a second if you want. Here, say hi to DJ. Hi, hey DJ. They wanted to talk to you. They wanted to listen to you guys talk for a second. So I'm gonna play you on stream for a second. If that's okay.
What up, okay.
Hi, Demand.
We have to do the thing like in Toy Story. Like we have to
Oh, there's a
start
video
talking
of
about politics now.
Jokup. Why is Jokup blonde? What the hell? Aryan
He's
race?
Nordic.
He's always been.
Oh, he's
like
Nordic.
that.
Oh, he's smoking
He's
though. So
Viking-blooded.
he's
Oh,
depressed.
Sorry, we can't have that on stream, probably. Huh?
He's not showing us,
Nah.
I don't think.
He's a Hyperborean.
Okay. Okay, introduce yourself, Discord mods and Jokup.
What's
Right,
going
everyone
on,
in
chat?
chat should know who I am.
Tell
I
them
am
why they should join the
Ice.
Discord too.
You should join the Discord because it's super fun to be around a community and have these discussions with each other.
Good. I like
Yeah,
that.
and my name's Jacob. I'm the local MAGA. So we're accepted here. Let's have a conversation.
I am nothing. I am no one. I am a hallucination and a dream. I am a mass hysteria with no name, form, shape, or essence. If you come to the Discord and talk to me, you will be severely damaged spiritually and psychologically, but you will come to love it, to be addicted to it, to the point where it will be the only thing that you know, and it will create a sense of normalcy for you that will be unavoidable. So join the Discord.
Suri said, "Can't confirm I am damaged." Thank you, Suri.
Yeah.
Can I get a Team Jacob in the chat, please?
Team Jokup.
Nope.
Try to spell Jokup in chat. Try to spell Jokup. Guess how it's spelled.
And chat, even if you aren't looking like for a sense of community, if you think that you are smarter than us and know politics better than us, come on in. Let's discuss this.
I want to learn.
Let's
I
have
want to
some
know things.
discourse. I want you to teach me.
Yeah, I don't know things, and I want to know things.
Someone spelled it Joker with a D. D-J-O-K-A-B. Someone spelled it Joe Cobb, like Joe Corn on the Cob, like J-O-E-C-O-B.
Oh, that's one of my nicknames is Corn on the Jacob. But
There you go.
Jacob.
if we can get that in the chat, please, I'd be thankful.
Someone
for
said
that.
Jahoob. Someone said Jahoob. Jahoob. You must be
It's
from.
true. It's true. The D Jacob spelling, that is what we're gonna name our child.
Someone
when
said
Jacob-
Jacob. Jacob. J-O-C-K-A-L-D. There you go.
A-L-D, Jacob.
Someone said G
Come on,
Cub. J-O-E space C-U-B, like Joe Cub.
Come on, guys. You can do better.
J-O knockout B.
You guys are overcomplicating it. You gotta
Come on,
simplify.
Kate. That
Someone
wasn't
said,
nice.
Someone said we broke out here, bro. That's crazy.
Oh, he is showing us. Why are you showing the Discord, Jolah?
What do you mean? I always show the Discord. I always show you.
You're doxing him. You're doxing Jacob.
Jacob's famous.
I can't believe you do that to him.
He likes it.
I
He
can't.
likes the attention. Look at him. He's soaking it in.
Yeah, he does.
Can I get
Got
a
him.
shockers in the chat? Can I get a shockers in
He
the chat?
just keeps asking people to say things for him in chat. He does like the attention. Give us your home address.
Discord link is in all my
What's your
video descriptions, by
social
the way.
security
everyone.
number?
And I
Just
have
the
it pinned
last
to the
four,
chat too.
Jacob.
Yeah,
I
social
want all of
security. Don't say
it.
that.
I don't know why people keep asking for the last four. I want all of it.
This is actually a really engaging topic. I think like 30 people guessed how to spell Jacob so far. We have a little community going on in chat.
You guys are getting close, chat. Let's get some more guesses in the chat, please.
See, you see he's eating it up, dude.
Yeah, I know.
So,
cancel him.
What do
how'd
you
the
want us
last
to
call-
talk about, Jolah?
I'm done streaming. I was just putting the Discord in. And everyone, again, Discord link is in my video descriptions. You could join there and chat with us. I saw a couple, like 2 people join today, but we usually chat after I stream. They're usually in there talking. And we lost a lot of people who got depressed from politics and no longer talk in the Discord. So we need replacement people to talk to so we can pretend like we have friends and you know, we could pretend like we're around people. But yeah, I mean, they just want me to put DJ on, you know, mostly DJ. I don't think they know Kyle is in here as the baby.
You guys got to hear what I have to say. I'm just saying that. And we
I'll
need
talk
some more
to
MAGA
anybody.
guys. We need more MAGA guys in the Discord if I can get some help.
Jolah's the Kremlin. I'm kind of the KGB.
Jolene, Joe Knob.
Jokinawa.
They're still guessing how to spell
Jacob.
Joker.
Joe Saka.
J-A-C-K-C-U-B-B, Jack Cub.
Come on, guys. It's not that hard.
No,
I am.
I don't know,
I
Jack.
am a 1 of 1, so I mean, it probably is kind of hard.
Gross.
He needs,
Oh, Sri.
apparently, you need the people from J6 to back you up, Jacob.
Sri, thank you for the other $5, Sri. I didn't see your other $5 from earlier, Sri. Thank you, Sri. On Venmo. Thank you for more calls. Did I take more calls? I better. Oh wait, did I take the Jamaican call? The Jamaican caller, his accent was fantastic. It was awesome.
Man, we're going international, huh?
Yeah, hey, if you guys are enjoying the stream right now, let's get some $2 donations in here right now. Come on.
$2.
Yeah, let's get a smash, like, subscribe.
He called me a beacon of light. The Jamaican guy did. He called me a beacon of light in his accent, and the other guy earlier called me like, "You are the truth" or something. I forget what he said, but it was really good,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
He's like,
You
"I
don't
love the
just
shit
say
you
the
like-
truth. You don't just care about it. You are identical with the truth.
Can we
Oh,
get
I
a
gotta-
bomba clot in the chat, please, for the
Oh,
Jamaican
no.
guy?
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, but my earlier there was a guy that called and he kept on saying how he's a black man, and like at one point I'm just like, hey man, I really don't care. Like you're talking about Trump dumping cancerous chemicals and sewage into black communities, and he's like, and I brought up like Trump blaming a plane on DEI, and he's like, well, I don't want an unqualified pilot taking me somewhere. I'm like, why do you think black people are unqualified? I'm like, you're a racist, dude. You're racist against black people. You're black. Like I can't help you. Like I told him to reflect and hung up. I don't know what to say to him. He's gonna get me canceled.
It's classical conservative identity politics.
All this
Yeah,
wokeness.
that call made me sad because what you were talking about is super very important. Trump dropping that suit to stop the dumping of waste into drinking water is horrid.
That's a landmark
And
case too.
even
Like, yeah.
it, like, he was trying to make it like you just pointed out the fact that it was in a black community, and he kept trying to make it out like they were only taking this action because it was in a black community, and that it just it destroyed me. That call
Well,
hurt me.
he was mad. Like the idea that like, when I was saying, because he's saying it's not real that the area is that bad in Alabama because of racism, and still that bad because of racism, and a lot of that is from like self-hatred, where it's like, and you can't be the white liberal saying that there's self-hatred for a black person, obviously, but it still is, obviously, when you're saying like, oh well, racism's not wise because black people don't work hard enough, then yeah, you're doing things that are you're dismissing historical fact when white people in Alabama did put all the shit in black communities to ruin them, and now they blame black people for the position they're in today when the government freaking did it of Alabama. Like, it's just like, oh god, dude, like, that's painful.
Hey, Parker Studios. These people are typically qualified for the positions in which they're getting hired. They're not being just pulled off the street from nowhere and put into a job. These are people who are actively seeking that job and
What did
typically
Parker
have the
say?
qualifications to do that job.
Jacob's gonna be, well, thank you, Jacob. You got me $2 from Sabrina, who sent me $2 in Cash App and said Bumbleclaw.
Let's go, Sabrina. Let's get a W in the chat for Sabrina, please. And let's get
Yeah.
those $2 rolling. Come on, guys. I know we're not broke here. Come on, $2. We need Jolah in politics, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, what Jacob's.
Not gonna lie, he could be a campaign manager.
He could. He can attract all the depressed white Nordic men.
Carly, Jankum is actually a thing. It's not a folk
Dude,
story.
Teresa sent $2. Teresa sent $2. So did TG, $2 each. Oh no, thank you guys.
Let's go, TJ. Let's get a
this
W
is-
in the chat for TJ, guys. Let's go.
This is
Come
what
on,
I'm
let's
talking
keep it
about.
rolling.
I called
Let's
it.
get a train going.
I'm gonna bring Jacob on to beg for money, so I don't gotta do it anymore.
Hey, if you're Team MAGA and you want to show these guys how much money we have, let's get a $2 donation right now, guys. Let's go.
Oh well, Loretta sent me $2. Loretta sent me $2 and said, for being so smart and sexy. Okay.
Let's go. Thank you, Loretta. I am smart and sexy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for Jacob, hell yeah.
Hey, Parker Studios.
Get a W in the chat for that.
Sri, $2 from Sri. Thank you, Sri.
Not everyone liked him when he was
Three. I
on
knew
that
we weren't
stupid
broke in
fucking
the
show.
chat.
My
Come on,
God.
guys. What's $2? What is $2, guys? Let's go. Let's keep this train rolling.
I can bring out my Make-A-Wish MAGA for my donations every stream.
Make-A-Wish MAGA. This is so sad.
No, I'm just kidding. Joker was special.
Don't kid. It's true.
Well, just because, yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not qualified for that job position. Parker Studios.
What did Parker say? I want to hear what Parker said. Parker's voice matters.
Read the chat. I'm not reading what he says out loud.
Did he do a microaggression? No more microaggressions, guys.
Let's get a $2
Wait, did I
donation
microaggress?
microaggression.
Is that what happened? Did
Yeah, because I
I'm
said
sorry.
so. No, you didn't, but I'm gonna make you mad about.
I'm gonna macro aggress. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, someone named Leftover Bagel said. Someone named Leftover Bagel said, "This Joe Cub guy seems cool. I'd love to meet him." With a
Well,
heart
Parker,
emoji.
not everyone
What the
is
heck?
the best qualified for their
Hey,
position. I don't know what world you live in where literally everyone who is the most qualified for the position that they get hired for, that's a literal, just that is a fantasy. That literally every single person that has a job is the most qualified person for it. But that doesn't mean that they're not qualified for it.
Thank you, Leftover Bagel. Yeah, Jacob, you got to meet this Leftover Bagel person. They seem like they have a crush on you.
Hey, what did Leftover Bagel have to say?
It seems really cool. I love to meet him with a winky face.
Hey, Leftover Bagel. I love leftover bagels.
I
Let's
love
meet.
you too. I love you too, Joker.
Shit, that's right up my alley right there.
Yeah, leftover bagel might be DJ. I don't know. It's a. I never saw them in the same room.
I did once. Every time I look in the mirror, I see him in the same room, and I hate him. I hate that. Not allowed to curse.
Rita, thank you for $2. Are these your college friends? No, they are random people on the internet from across the country who are lonely every night, and I'm also lonely with them after my streams. But yeah, they're
Let's
mods.
go. Let's get
other
a
than
W
Jacob.
for Rita.
Jacob's gonna get a special label.
Let's get a W,
W
for
for
no
Rita.
real.
W for Rita.
Hey, so
$2.
I'm a high school dropout. We have a voice here. All right. There's hope for everybody. Let's get $2 in the chat for hope.
Yep.
For hope? That's crazy, dude.
Everybody has a voice here. Only people who get sent to El Salvador are the people who want to go. Aside
$2
from
for
that,
hope, dude.
you're all welcome.
No, that's funny. That's actually funny, dude. That's crazy. we have a chance here. $2 for hope. That's crazy.
Let's go, man. There's hope for the uneducated. These guys educate me every night, and I fight them back, and it's fun. Let's go.
Fighting back against his own education.
Yeah. Well, that's how you educate. You know, you don't want to be a sheep. You have to fight back, but you got to educate yourself at the same time.
So true.
$2 for education in the chat right now.
That's crazy.
You're our Obama. You're our hope candidate.
All right, no more begging for money. Sorry, chat.
Loretta gave $2 on Cash App. Thank you so much for hope with 2 purple heart emojis.
Let's go, Loretta. W for Loretta.
Man.
Let's keep this train going, though.
Jacob's good at this. You gotta hire him.
No, you've been doing it wrong the whole time, Jolah.
I know.
You just gotta put your shame away.
I know you guys have been watching Jolah for months, guys. What is $2? We're trying to get him in politics.
Thank you for $2, TG, for Trump Bible Fund. Yeah, thank you, TG, for $2.
Let's go, Trump. Let's go, Trump. Let's get a MAGA in the chat.
Oh no, they're gonna get
Let's
refunds.
a MAGA in the
No,
chat.
they're gonna get refunds now.
Don't spend all of it on tampons. Wow, how original. You're so good. You're so fucking funny, my guy. Wow.
I'm gonna spend it all on condoms so I can send them to Israel.
On tampons. Well, they don't gotta spend any money on tampons, nor does any partner that they will have because they're gay.
Oh, Julie, you don't know? Julie, you don't know Trump is producing his own Bible with the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution in it.
Is gay representative of all gay people? Sorry.
Is what?
No, I said earlier today in a normal conversation, like gay and trans people, or like trans people and gay people to someone, like Republicans don't like gay or trans people, but I said gay for like all gay people and then trans. Is that like, I know you can say queer for everyone, but is gay all encompassing term too?
I don't care. I
don't know. I do care because I don't want to get canceled.
I think so. I think
it doesn't matter. As long as you're not calling us the alphabet people or the
That's
R
crazy.
slur, I don't care.
Yeah, the alphabet people is crazy.
Gay is like the same on same, right?
It's same on
yeah,
same.
more or less. Yeah.
Most queers would say yes. Someone said that gay would cover everyone. So you're gay if you're.
I mean, yeah, like it's kind of like how the rainbow flag is like technically it's just gay, but we all use it. So
I never hear the word lesbian. I never hear like gay, lesbian. I always hear gay, like never lesbian.
yeah,
You know what I mean, the stigma.
lesbian,
Well, that's because
let's
be honest. That's because the right doesn't have a problem with lesbians. They think lesbians are hot.
Yeah, and gay's a funny word too.
Yes, it is, but
Like,
it's just because
phonetically,
we're still sexist. Like we're still chill and hate women and stuff. So like, lesbian people are just the inferior form of gay people.
Some words are good words, right? Because gay, like that's just like gay, like it's just yeah. Some words are just like good
Yeah, but
words.
lesbian, you can't really say lesbian as an
Like
insult.
Like shit is a fun
When I was
word.
in school, they played a video and it was like talking about people calling people gay, and they were like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" What do you mean by that? That's soft. We need to bring back gay.
Addie Lynn, do you feel underrepresented? Join us in the Discord. We'll platform you. You can come
If you
speak
feel
your truth.
this is facts.
Your truth and your struggle and your trauma.
No, what? Okay.
That's what I want.
Let's get $2 in the chat for trauma.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it another 2 minutes and shut the stream off, guys. Thank you guys hanging out. Thank you guys for hanging out, guys. Lesbian. I know Eminem used lesbian as a slur, so I mean he's progressive.
Yeah.
Progressive.
Yes.
What about like LGBT? I'll say LGBT plus, but not LGBTQAIW plus or whatever.
Let's change it to Chat GPT.
Got him. Jacob just did the meme.
Whatever
He just
happened to
did the
Glomp and Rar? They stayed where they deserve to be, Charlie. That shit's cringe. That shit needed to stay on the early 2000s internet.
Oh no. Oh no.
I do think queer is just the best. I don't know, queer or gay.
I feel like I can't say that one word, the ear word. I feel like
You're
I can't
allowed.
say that though. No, I can't.
Yeah, I mean it's part of it,
You're
right? Like so you're allowed to say it now.
LGBTQAW.
That's what the Q is.
QIA. Wait, LGBTQIA plus? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Well,
but
okay.
that shit is gay.
When do you cut it
Well,
off? How
yeah,
did they decide
that's
when
what
to cut
it's
it off?
about, though.
Yeah.
TJ.
No, I am curious. How did they decide when to cut it off though? Like you have LGB, which is like anti-trans. You have LGBT. Is that anti-asexual or like LGBTQA? Like when did they cut off the letters? Like why don't we keep going?
I don't think it was ever anti-anything, though, really.
Well,
I
LGB
think
is
it was-
anti-trans for sure. Like because they cut out.
I think it
trans people
always
from-
encompassed. Oh, is it?
Yeah, like if you just say LGB, you're intentionally doing it to leave out trans people. Like the Trump White House is doing that right now.
Yeah, it's anti some things, Jacob. What do you think the A stands for?
Assholes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Close. Asexual.
Oh, same. Yeah. Oh.
Technically, it's the A spectrum, which can also refer to aromantic people.
I give less cares now. I don't actually. Let's delete the A.
That's what I'm saying. It's gay. We just call it queer.
Oh, Rumbler's trying to set his thing up, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you're live. I don't
want
want
to. Said gay.
We are live.
Wait, what
but
is
if you
he?
want to talk, let's talk.
What is Rumbler?
What's this
What is he?
lobster? What's this lobster thing that you are?
Right.
It's a Jordan Peterson reference.
Okay, that was my first.
I
It's
mean,
my
Peter,
first guess, but I didn't want to be.
I'm shutting down the
presumptuous.
stream, guys. Thank you for watching.
like
Hope you have a great
chaos
night.
and
Thank you
order
guys for hanging out
combined, you
after
know?
the stream too. Thank you.
Oh,
for
I
coming.
know.
Like I said, Discord.
Like the
Usually,
wheel of
I hop
chaos
on
and the
here and
lobster
chat for
war.
like an hour on my
This
phone, a half
user
hour
has
on my
been
phone.
profiled
at
as
night when I
sharing
get off. It's a little late tonight,
anti-government memes and
weeknight.
other content.
But especially the weekend will be up.
Get him out.
Throughout the day.
Peterson.
We're trying to get more people in here talking.
I have been a
and,
bad
and,
boy.
chatting as a community.
Yeah.
Not even community, but just to come chill, you know. Come in Discord. We need more people, so it's,
What are you?
it's
What are you
populated
here
more. but-
for? What are
Yeah,
you?
thanks for
Anything
hanging out,
specific you want
guys.
to talk about?
See you guys tomorrow.
No,
for the
not yet.
final stream this
I've
week.
been listening to the show the last couple days and just kind of poking around.
Poke. Why are you poking?
Joel muted.
Guys,
He's
say
saying
bye to the
chat
stream.
right now.
Guys, say bye.
Bye,
Say bye,
chat.
everyone.
Bye. Love you
I
guys.
refuse
Come
to
back
say goodbye.
later, sweeties. Remember to bring your papers. I'm gonna be doing ice raids next time. Bring your papers.
Whoa.
Charlie said, "Can I?" Wait, I
Look,
said
I'm just trying to
Charlie.
I'm just trying to deport all the illegal chatters, Jacob.
Carly said, "Can I join the gay chat?" I don't know. We should make a
Make sure
gay
no one's
chat,
harboring
though.
him.
The
Any
internet is
chat I'm
international.
in is the gay chat.
Only we're gonna have a place to have an autistic chat, just like a registry, a gay registry, a trans registry, and then also a Jacob registry, which
I'm
and that'll
gonna-
be the child one.
I'm gonna